season.
Timing it well,
Yep.
very well. I thought the Sydney game the other week was a complete statement game by them. They looked really angry. It looked like there was a theme attached to Chris Fagan to his players. It felt like they really came out with a different intent that we haven't sort of seen.
Had the Rafael Nadal, didn't he? It was the we're going a set with Federer, Nadal.
Yeah, well,
he always has a theme.
There you go. Yeah, but it just felt like there was a little bit of aggression that just to remind the Swans that hey, like we are still the best team in the competition and we've got it over you. And I think the Swans were really, really taken back by that. I think they've been absolutely superb, Brisbane. They're the one for me. I know Freo are getting all talked about at the moment. I personally feel that if Brisbane met Freo, I think Brisbane have it over them. I struggle to see Freo winning at the MCG. I don't know why I think that. I've got nothing to back it up. But I just feel like in a final, if they come up against like a Brisbane, maybe even a Sydney in a grand final, something like that, I just don't know about Freo at the MCG.
They haven't won an away final since I think it was 2014.
There you go.
So it was down at Geelong.
And it's very difficult because I remember being in 2015, winning 2 finals pretty convincingly for West Coast, and then going to the MCG is a massive shock. I feel like for Freo, if they got an away final and 1-1, that would do so much belief for them. Yeah. It might not happen because if they finish on top and, our home ground advantage is huge. But I feel like for them, I don't know, I feel like they have to go through a tough final series for them to propel into like a Freo era.
Yep.
I don't know what they feel. I don't know how to explain that,
When you say it was a bit of a shock, in what way? Was it the build-up? Was it the experience around it, being away from home? What was the...
We were just in our bubble for 3 weeks, winning the first final, getting sent to a prelim, and then winning that prelim pretty convincingly against North, then rocking up to... and then we lost continuity there for a few weeks, then rocking up to play against Hawthorn, who probably wouldn't have lost it to anyone that day. But I just remember them sort of being a lot more comfortable at the MCG than what we were. They'd also, had a lot more finals experience.
2012, last time they've won a away home final. Away final. So
they might not get one though.
So,
grand final day. So
we've got to get out of here. A big thanks to Chad, Carl, to Maisie, to Stu Baker at the back of the box, to Lex down on the boundary, to Aaron Bryans in the studio. If you're listening in Western Australia, you are heading to the MCG where Melbourne's taking on Richmond. The D's ahead by 34 points at the G. And if you're listening to us on the AFL stream on ABC Listen, you're off to the Gabba where Brisbane are hosting Essendon. A big thank you for your company at Docklands here this afternoon, where the Western Bulldogs have run out winners by 16 points.
Beneath the heat and dust lies gemstones, secrets and murder.
This is homicide.
Nothing stays buried forever. The suspenseful new crime drama, Treasure and Dirt, starts Sunday, July 19 on ABC TV and ABC iView.
ABC Sport.
We begin this broadcast by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which this match will be played today and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. We extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples listening.
Boy, we're going to have some fun.
The AFL in 2026 on ABC Sport.
And the siren sound.
Here we go. Listen to the roar. It is showtime.
You take a seat because it don't get better than this.
Right to the goal line. Jamie Elliott, the man who gravity forgot.
That's why we love AFL football.
On ABC Sport, this is the AFL.
Sit back, relax, witness the greatest. It don't get better than this.
From 45 and rides it all the way home.
An ambitious effort. Unbelievable.
The left foot is a goal. Oh, yeah.
Take a seat because it don't get better than this.
Robinson kicks off goal. The prancing pony.
What a goal.
He's off and running. The 45 to get the party started.
Take a seat because it don't get better than this.
It's bouncing. It's through. Bailey Smith, he'll want the cameras on him right now.
Not camera action, baby. Countdown to contact.
Spins around and buries it.
Loads up from 55. That's a monster bomb.
40 metres out. Snaps towards goal. What a beautiful finish.
Baker goal square. Goes for glory.
He eyes the goals and sends it home.
Get better than this.
100% pure footy. Every minute of every match, all season long.
Gathers, snaps, goal. which is just football at its best.
Kick on goal, dribbles it through.
What about that? Took them all on and said, I'll have some of this.
Bailey pinches his pocket and bang, bang, bang. That's the price you pay against the Premier.
Watson snaps. Oh, Watson puts it through. And the Wizard arrives precisely on time.
He's built for the big stage.
On his left boot. His kick is good.
Inside 50, off a step, turns and goes bang.
And snap. And goal.
There's some bravery through the middle of the ground.
How good is that? What a goal. He wastes no time. He whacks it through for another. It doesn't have to be your night, but it can be your moment. Hands it to Charlie Cameron. He can walk it in. Show him your tail lights, Charlie.
Welcome to ABC Sports coverage of the 2026 AFL Premiership season.
Runs the 50 out. What a way to finish.
On radio,
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
and ABC Listen.
You take a seat because it don't get better than this.
The Gabba in Brisbane is the scene for the final game of round 18 of this 2026 AFL season. My name is Quentin Hull. Welcome along to Twilight Footy to complete this weekend of fixtures. It's Brisbane hosting Essendon. On paper, it is a mismatch. The two-time reigning premiers looking to keep in contact with the top four and perhaps return to it. If they can beat the Bombers by a big enough margin here, an Essendon team that comes to the Gabatoir with only one victory for the season and slipping ever closer to the club's sixth wooden spoon. It's a perfect afternoon/evening for football in Brisbane. We've had a fair bit of rain around over the last couple of weeks in the Queensland capital, but today there's high cloud, low 20s. It'll be coolish enough by local standards by the time that the lights are turned on and the sun goes down here. Sunset around 5 o'clock, so that's not too far away, about half an hour from now. So it'll seem more like a night game than a twilight game with the split of the natural light and artificial light. But you couldn't want for better conditions. And the locals, well, they'll be hoping that there's no slip-up whatsoever. Brisbane starting the round in fourth, with 10 wins for the season and 3 in a row, of course. Their last two quite impressive, away to Geelong and here against the Sydney Swans. But with the big win for the Adelaide Crows over the Gold Coast Suns last night, Adelaide at the moment on the live ladder has surpassed Brisbane's percentage of 111.7. Pre-round it was Adelaide 111.4. and just outside of the top four. But the Crows got to almost 117% with that big win over Gold Coast last night. So there's a gap of about 5% between the Lions and the Crows. Are we putting the cart before the horse? Perhaps, but we're dealing with the two-time premier against a team which has sacked its coach and only won one game this year. And earlier today, if you missed it, West Coast gave the Western Bulldogs a scare, but the Dogs won by 16 points. Aaron Norton kicking 5 goals as the Bulldogs won 13 goals, 886 to the Eagles, 9-16-70. And the third quarter at the MCG is about 7 minutes away, where Melbourne is hosting Richmond. And the co-tenants doing battle there at headquarters. Melbourne 9-9-63 lead Richmond 4-5-29. We'll keep you up to date with that. And, of course, you can hear that on ABC Listen on the red and blue AFL button, as ever, when there are overlapping games. Toggle between the two. It's your choice on ABC Listen. No late changes for either team here. So at selection, Dean Solomon, the caretaker coach for the Bombers, really did run the axe through a handful. Ben Mackay, Nick Cox, Sardell Hawley, who are all emergencies and remain emergencies. They were dropped, as was Will Setterfield. Jordan Ridley hasn't made the trip. He's been rested with some soreness. 5 ins headed by Angus Clark's first game of the season. He's had troubles with an ankle and then foot injury, Angus Clark, so good to see one of the Bombers' talented young players returning. Archie Roberts missed 2 games with a shoulder injury, so he's back into the team. Harry Jones, Max Kondogiannis and Lockie Blackiston also among 5 changes to an Essendon team which lost to the Saints by the better part of 11 goals last start. And for Brisbane, boy, you reckon there's some experience and big names coming back. There's only 2 of them, But Dane Zorko and Hugh McCluggage return. Zorko having not played since he hurt his quad in the win over Carlton back in round 9, and Hugh McCluggage has missed since that Fremantle game, which was back in round 13. So he's missed 3 with a hamstring injury, Hugh McCluggage, but he returns. Darcy Gardner's out for at least a month with a hamstring injury, and Jimmy Tunstall got dropped at selection. I'll be calling with Michael Price. Welcome, Michael. It's nice to see you. Not quite Sunday Arvo footy at the Gabba, but we've got, sunshine for another half hour or so. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you, Q. And once again, just honoured to be in the best seat in the house. A little bit of sunshine still hitting the school end of the ground, the left as we're looking at it, and the opposite side, the Stanley Street side, but beautiful conditions. Sunday afternoon / evening footy, can't be better.
And your experts throughout the afternoon, former Port Adelaide captain and coach and All-Australian Matthew Primus. Welcome to you, Matt.
Q, Pricey, beautiful afternoon for football.
You got a sell for me for a contest?
No.
Okay, well, what are we looking at then?
I'm looking at Brisbane to continue the great form and understand early in the year I didn't think they flew with their form, but they were a little bit up and down. They come good against the good teams and then struggled a little bit against Carlton, we saw here first half, second half. So just put the foot to the throat and really dismantle Essendon. And while percentage wouldn't have been spoke about at all, it is going to be important come the end of the year, that top 4 area.
And next to you, the 2001 Brownlow medalist and Hall of Famer Jason Ackermanis. Welcome to you, Acker. How are you doing?
Thank you. G'day, Pricey, and the superstar that is Matty Primus. Very good point. And if they're not winning by 6 or 10 goals, well, it's a missed opportunity. That said, we always want a contest, so it'd be great to see some of these Essendon players who have talent actually show their talent. And that would be awesome. They could kick a bunch of goals. They played well here last time. We watched that game. The weather would be awesome for them because it'll feel like a summer's day for them. It's just beautiful conditions down there.
And the man that gets to enjoy them out in the open, not behind the screen here that we have, Zane Bojak, welcome to you, close to the benches.
Can I tell you, Q, as always with the big Melbourne club, we've got plenty of supporters in the crowd, but I think I'd like to be out on the field. 22 degrees, perfect for football. I think I'd like to get out there and get a kick. Maybe after the game when everyone else comes on. But, guys, this is interesting. 12 matches in a row the Bombers have lost. The Lions, they've won their last 4. This could be a bit of a mismatch. But watch out for Semi Draper against his old team. Essendon ran out to a banner which said, "Play brave, be bold. You're resilient and strong. Believe in each other as the game unfolds." There you go. Positive messaging on the banner.
And Darcy Wilmot reaches his 100th game in succession, having made his debut in the elimination final against Richmond back in 2022. Let's go, Pricey, we're away.
Draper got it down to Neil, handball to Dunkley. Dunkley kicks it to the right as we're looking at it, inside 50. Logan Morris off the front of the pack. McKenna. Oh, could have been a very early score. Dribbled it through, one behind to the left of the goalpost. So the Lions are kicking to the right as we're looking at the city end after Dunkley won the toss.
Speaking of ex-Bombers, Zane didn't mention Connor McKenna, who of course left the competition for a year or two before returning to it here at the Lions. Long kick in, finds Caddy on half back, but his kick's turned over to the middle of the ground. Lockie Neal takes the intercept mark for Brisbane on halfway.
Tell you what, too, he's a revelation down forward. It's the best spot for him at the moment, McKenna.
Short pass to Levi Ashcroft. Levi gives it to his brother Will. Will chips it back to Harris Andrews as the Lions just hold up on halfway. Andrews is going to put the long ball to a contest. It's a bit of a floater off the boot of Andrews. Morris was the target, spoiled away though by Reid. Ball to ground level, and it's a Bombers ball. Jones with a hand pass, got it through the hands of Roberts to Parrish, but his kick is turned over. Charlie Cameron takes the mark, 50 from goal, as the Bombers can't get that exit right.
You'd almost need sunglasses. That Charlie's boots are that bright. There's a couple out there with, like, I could say, what is that? Like a fluoro orange. Pink.
Yeah, but Charlie's got the sort of yellowy orange numbers on.
He does. This is about the only time he'll make this distance. It's early in the game. Let's see what he can do.
Man on the mark's on 50. Cameron from left half forward. He's got the distance, Jason. He's kicked the goal. That's the first of the afternoon / evening. And it's Charles Cameron with goal 35 of this season. And we've had to only wait 1 minute and 50 seconds for John Denver to get rid of the gargle and get to the microphone on this Sunday afternoon.
Well, that's just Brisbane's strength, isn't it? Forward half turnovers, and I did like at the start then, at least Essendon, the last 3 weeks, all they've tried to do is just own the ball and go nowhere with it. They've tried to get some handball link up and try and play fast out the open side. It was just a poor kick where they need to go. You just need to kick that ball out to grass, and if you're trying to pin something off, Brisbane's forwards are going to make you pay, and they certainly did them with Charlie's goal.
That was the second one too. Lachie Neale got that one earlier. These guys at this level for Essendon, you're playing for your future in some ways. You've got to be able to hit those targets. It's perfect conditions.
Zane?
Just going to say, I reckon that's the Aboriginal ochre, isn't it? A NAIDOC week for Charlie. Those boots look resplendent.
Well, they do.
Draper versus Bryan, and it was Draper who got it out, but the Bombers flick it out wide. Clark, Angus gets it to the lead there of Nate Caddy. Umpire blew the whistle. I reckon he dropped it. The umpire went early. Caddy's got it regardless at right half forward. Kicks it there, and his former teammate Draper flies and takes a nice defensive mark at the top of the goal square, much to the applause of the Gabba crowd.
Enjoying that, the big fella.
Hands it off to Ainsworth in the pocket. Long kick to the wing, and Rayner gets a beautiful step ladder grab off the back of Bryan. He put his knee into his back, took a great mark. Quick kick to half forward. Gathered by Morris on the bounce. Weaves one way and another near the boundary line. Hooks it to the top of the goal square. Merritt's there for Essendon to try and spoil. McGrath picks up off the deck for the Dons and boots them clear. Only to Draper in the middle, who drops the mark. Has time to regather. Hacks it back from whence it came. Jones spoiled Merritt. Punch it away from what should have been an Essendon mark. Luckily for the Dons, Dave Wicks is there. Hands it on to Roberts. Under pressure, he's kicked to left half back, and Kako swoops in.
He wheels around onto his right foot from left half back, kicks it to the wing. Peter Wright versus Harris Andrews. I'll give that one to Andrews. It promoted it forward. Darcy Wilmot in his 100th. Handball to Zorko. Welcome return. Inside 50. Big defensive fly there came from Bryan. Brought it to ground, but they will get it across the face of Gold Bombers, and they'll get it out right back pocket.
Redmond chips to Clark. Clark marks and chips to Caldwell, who takes the grab right half back. Lions 1-1. Bombers yet to score. Early stages at the Gabba. Caldwell's kick to the wing was looking for Caddy, but it was pointlessly outmarked by Gallup. From halfway, kicks Brisbane back into attack. Target was Morris, had two against him, and offhands out of play for a boundary throw-in in the left forward pocket for Brisbane.
Well, I like that they started Caddy up high. He's had some games when he struggled to find the ball, but that kick there was just to his opposition's advantage. But it started up high, getting some touches, his confidence early, and look forward to watching him play tonight.
He can run, he's got to use it. And Peter Wright played very well last time.
He can run too, yeah.
Throw in left forward pocket, Lions by 7 points. Bryan got it down. Zach Bailey tackled, got the handball away, picked up there by Will Ashcroft. Handball close to the line to Lachie Neale, speculating towards Zach Bailey yet again, but some good pressure from the Bombers. Took him over the boundary line. We'll get a throw in. It's about 35-40 metres away from goal in the left forward pocket.
Still just that sliver of sunlight in the forward pocket at the school end. Boundary throw in with Brisbane inside attacking 50. And Dunkley applies a solid tackle to ensure that the intended Essendon rover there in Caldwell couldn't get clear. So it's another ball up, 40 from Brisbane's goal. Shunted towards the boundary line. Merritt's there with Bailey. Neither can pick up and over the line. Oh, it's hold on.
Out the full.
Took a toe of Merritt, so it's a free kick going to Zach Bailey.
Well, you like that. I know you can have a shot from here.
Man on the marks, 45 from goal. So Bailey basically will kick from where 50 paint meets boundary paint at left half forward.
Looks like he might be going to resign. So
what are you hearing? What are you hearing, Jason?
No, he should resign. I'm hearing this week, which will be a great thrill for his fans.
Bailey on his right foot, tough angle. It goes beyond the pack and the goal mouth, and an Essendon mark taken by Jones at full back. Quick clearing kick to left half back. Caddy takes the mark. He's got a runner going around the boundary, and Roberts receives the hand pass, but then Roberts has to kick backwards, and Redmond takes it, and the Bombers will set up from D50.
He's going to again. He chipped it forward. It was in between two teammates. It actually came off the hands of Jasper Fletcher. Went beyond Roberts, and Fletcher took it over the boundary line. 70 from goal, right half forward.
So, Jace, you want to go on record and say that Zach Bailey will re-sign?
Yes, it seems to be this, and for lots of reasons. He didn't accept the first one. They upped the offer, and and he looks like he's going to accept it.
Off hands, Merritt to Parrish. Parrish tumbles it to left half forward. It's cut off there by Ty Gallop for the Lions. Puts it forward. Dunkley imposes himself on that contest. Fisted it forward towards the arc of 50. Well done by Archie Roberts. Got his handball back to McGrath. McGrath taken over the boundary line by former Bomber Connor McKenna. 40 out from goal in the right forward pocket. There will be a throw in underneath the scoreboard. Lions by 7.
Down there? Is that Dersma? I think he got hit in the, can I say the
lower abdomen?
Yeah, the groin area.
1-1-7-0. Brisbane lead the game. Lions in attack off the boundary throw. Durham's kick, though. He was trying to clear from 30 metres away from the goal, and he has kicked an unintentional point by kicking it through the goals for Brisbane.
It's a beautiful kick too.
While being tackled, and he's a bit sore, so that's 1-8-0.
It's reminiscent of Mel Michael back in the day.
Down this end it was. They changed the rule because of Mel.
Oh dear. McGrath brought it back in for the Bombers. Big contest, Ty Gallop versus Nate Caddy. That is some quality right there.
Yeah, it'd be a good one to watch, won't it, Pricey? Two young fellas going at it.
Couple of balls, and he goes back 45. Does Gallop to Fletcher. Fletcher further back to the edge of the centre square behind centre wing to Harris Andrews. Then back to Fletcher. Fletcher chips it barely the required distance to Lockie Neal. Neal sizzles one. It's a grass burner into the path of Morris, cut off by the Bombers. They should get this out. Parrish, Dersma, got the handball over the top there to Redmond, and he hoiks it, but just into open space.
Last man back there is Harris Andrews. And as ever, does not look like his heart rate's above 60 as he gathers that and slots a 25-metre pass to Will Ashcroft, who takes the mark on the wing. Kicks in field to Zorko. Dane Zorko back in the team, having only played 7 previous games this year. Kicks it to the middle of the ground. Ainsworth transfers into attack, misses the target. Clark there for Essendon gathers, hands to Bryan, hands it through Pryor, the X-line, a 1-2 hand pass exchange with Redmond, now given to the pocket where Roberts kicks the Bombers clear. It's a good kick to left half back. Parrish takes the mark for the Dons. 1-2-0, Brisbane lead. I don't think Essendon's been inside 50. No, 9-1. 9-1.
They just went inside 50 technically. It went over the arc and came back. But they've got the ball now on centre wing on this commentary side, and it's with Sam Durham. Just held up in front as the Lions set up beautifully. He kicks it to half forward. That's a really good mark. Well honoured.
Pete Wright's on deep.
Sullivan Roby took it and then kicked it in the right direction. He got one big mitt to it, but Harris Andrews got over the top, punched it over the boundary line. It will be a throw in adjacent to the point post. Essendon attacking, and every player on the paddock is forward of halfway here. Congested forward 50 for the Bombers. The throw in, Darcy Ford got it down. It's picked up by Roby, toes it forward. It beats Parrish. Darcy Ford gets back there for Brisbane. The handball to Will Ashcroft. Gets it off to Ainsworth. Ainsworth puts it forward outside the arc of 50, and McGrath picks it up. He wants to bang it straight back in forward 50 into the pocket once again. Brought down by Gallop. Taken over the line by Dane Zorko, who's going to accept a free kick for a push in the back.
Yeah, Kako was late with the push, so that's the free kick. Kicks it across the face of goal to Zorko, to fellow veteran Leicester. Marks and chips to Charlie Cameron, who's in the pocket at the other end, in the left back pocket. Cameron now kicks long down the line, marked by Neal. Just forward of left half back. They are out. The kick from Neal, as expected, very good. Marked by McKenna, but he holds up. 70 from goal, left half forward. Now plays on the Irishman. Booming kick to full forward. 2 in the pack. Gee, that was a big fly from Morris, as well as Hipwood. Roving is Rayner, got a hand pass to it. Eric falls over in the goal square, but got a boot to it. Kicks it across the face of goal while sprawling like a giraffe.
It did look like a giraffe.
And he's kicked a point, 1-3-0.
Well, the Bombers bring it back in very quickly. It's going to be Durham. Yes, it was infringed upon there by Dunkley.
Professional foul there, Pricey. Oh, no, you've got to come back. His umpires have had an interesting weekend, Pricey.
Yeah, they have. Just short of centre wing. Durham gives it off there to Dersma, who has a bounce. He's confronted by Levi Ashcroft and then kicks it out of bounds on the full. Wasn't that flash, that one? As Jasper Fletcher now has it for the Lions. Chips it short to Levi, then to Will Ashcroft. Sweeping handball. 1 bounce. 2 bounces. He runs beyond centre wing. It's a bit of a floater. It bounced in front of Connor McKenna, who picked it up and duly dropped it. The umpire did not pay it. The Essendon tackler not rewarded. It's going to be Balled up just inside the arc of 50.
Meanwhile, D's keep control of that game against the Tigers at the MCG mid-third term. Melbourne lead by 33 points, 9-9, 63 to 4, 6-30. Off the stoppage, Will Ashcroft, quick kick for Brisbane to full forward. Morris picks up off the deck, snaps on the right boot, but doesn't have enough curl on it. It's another point for Brisbane, 1-4-10 to nothing. And just repeating, Melbourne by 33 points at the MCG. Earlier at Docklands, the Bulldogs beat the Eagles by 16 points, with Aaron Norton kicking 5 goals for the Doggies after the Eagles gave them a pretty good scare in that one.
One for the headband lovers. It's taken there by Harrow, and he goes long, just short of centre wing on the outer side. It's going to be held up there as Answorth has it, and he's completely wrapped up. So between wing and left half forward for Brisbane was Blackiston, who was in the ruck for Essendon, who got rid of Darcy Ford illegally. It's going to be a free kick to the big line. Handball off to the run of Zach Bailey from the point of the centre square. Oh, he went to give it to Charlie Cameron, who lost his footing. It skids across the Gabba turf, and we'll get a throw in the left forward pocket. Lions by 10 points.
They've had 12 inside 50s for 10 points, Brisbane.
They've butchered some easy skills. They're playing a bit too fast, but it looked very ominous early on.
12-3 inside 50s in favour of the host. Boundary throw in Brisbane in attack. Beyond the ruckman's fingers, Bailey out the back rows for Brisbane. Defensive hand pass to Lohman, 40 from goal. Gets on his left, has a shot. Out of bounds on the full near side, misses everything. And Jackson Pryor will take the free kick for the Bombers in the right back pocket. Essendon wearing its traditional black with red sash and white shorts. Boy, it's good to see Essendon looking like Essendon and Brisbane looking like Brisbane in the home maroon with the maroon shorts, albeit, though, the Lions have got that NAIDOC strip about them. Long kick in, by the way, from Pryor off hands and out of play.
I did text Kyle Lohman after last week's 5 goals. I said, I think the blonde hair is working for you, big fella.
Mate, we gave you a rap when you weren't here last game. We said that we thought he'd been past your place and stolen your peroxide from 2001.
I said the black moustache and goatee's next, and he had a laugh. Perhaps.
Throw in left half forward for Brisbane. It's stolen there by Darcy Wilmot. Handball forward, cut off by Durham for the Bombers. He's pressured onto his left foot. Skies one towards the outer wing. Harris Andrews fisted away from Big Peter Wright. Over the boundary line, we'll get a throw in on the Stanley Street wing.
Dare I say the scoreboard's the best part of the game for Essendon at the moment, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. It's they're getting lots of numbers around the contest. They've been led off by some poor inside 50s, but yeah, they're keeping it close, and that'd be something solid to be after.
Shallow throw, and Blackiston got the tap, but roved by the Lions. Here's McCluggage receiving from Dunkley. Gives to Fletcher, to Rayner, to Fletcher, to Bailey. Hands as they burst the front of the contest. Handed on to Berry. Breaks a tackle of Jones on 55 and chips it to Lohman, 40 out. Thought of playing on, but then stops. The Lions exploding with handballs out the front of that stoppage on the wing.
Yeah, out the front, out the back, on the inside, whatever you like to call it. But the Essendon are looking like when you coach against an Ovens and Murray side. There's nothing to it. It's not very complex. They're not doing anything in particular. You can't even see where the patterns are. You can't see where they should be free. It'll be a long day if they play like that.
Kai Lohman, 29 goals so far this campaign. He's played every game in 2026 for the Lions, and that's a fine right foot drop punt, which is Brisbane's second goal. Oh, and he shows his hands to the crowd. A little bit of early showmanship from Kai Lohman. Brisbane, 2 goals, 4-16. Lead the Bombers yet to score, 15 minutes played.
It's got to be the 70s, this song. Daddy Cool.
Yeah, this is the Boney M Classic.
I don't even know if you and I were alive, were we? Manny?
Probably not after Darcy.
Some Euro DJ would have done a remix somewhere, but I'm pretty sure this is Boney M, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's Boney M.
Definitely, it's on my playlist.
I know that Rasputin was redone recently.
Really?
Another Boney M classic.
That is a classic.
All right.
Yeah.
Russians.
Google the, like, I think it's about 7 or 8 years old now. There's a dance beat version of Rasputin.
That's a great song, though. About that guy.
I tell you what, if the Bombers don't do something, you're going to learn a lot about music this afternoon and this evening.
16 points, the margin. Bombers yet to score. Blackiston got up high, and Darcy Fort just stood there, gathered, put the big slipper into it. bounces it inside forward 50, picked up by Logan Morris, tackled, got the handball away. Well, it wasn't quite a handball, it was more an offload, let's put it that way. The umpire has called it illegal disposal, so it's going to be a free kick, and it will go to the Bombers. It's going to go to Jones. Jones kicks it short, a centre wing on this side of the ground, the Vulture Street side, and that applause goes to Darcy Wilmot, who belted it over the boundary line. Will be a throw in between wing and half forward, and Zane Bojak's on the boundary.
Yeah, we saw Xavier Dersma down with what looked like a bit of a problem with his ribs earlier. He's got massive cuts on his leg from stray boots, so they've caused a bit of problems to his left leg, getting treatment now.
Yeah. Thank you, Zane.
I think that was from Dunkley accidentally. Dunkley coming back with the flight. It's just a footy incident.
Boundary throwing got fumbled over the line by young Dyson Sharp, who's got hair like Dyson Heppel.
He does. Can you see where they're going, Matty? I have no idea what they're trying to do, Essendon.
Boundary throw in, Blackiston beats Fort, but taps it down straight to Rayner. Inverted torp off his left inside 50. That's a hard one to get a handle on. But Cameron mops up 40 from goal. Sweeping hand pass breaks the congestion. Given to Berry, who gives back to Charlie. Snaps on the left. Doesn't have the penetration to get over the hands of the defender on the goal line, and it's a point, 2-5-0.
Once again, they bring it in very quickly, the Bombers. Blackiston flies, did well with the second effort, but too many Lions there. Neal, handball to Zorko. Zorko, the outside of the right boot, bounces in front of Logan Morris, shakes off his opponent. Central ball. Big fly from Levi Ashcroft, front and square. Charlie Cameron gathers. He's gathered as well, and it's going to be a ball up about 30 metres out from the Lions' goal. And you can throw a tea towel over 20 players here. It is congested as you could possibly imagine a forward 50 to be. Fort gets it out. Levi Ashcroft gets it to Rayner, confronted, got a handball away. The Bombers pressuring and doing well. Redmond's kick, though, goes out towards right half back. They'll rescue the situation here with Archie Perkins, who kicks it towards the outer wing, and a big contest brings it to ground with the Lions in ascendancy.
Gallup foraging away, taps it to the advantage of Fletcher. Brisbane's ball, he hands it to Ainsworth. Hands it to Wilmot, the 100-gamer. Little chiselling left foot kick. Don't think that was 15, but the umpire gave the mark to Gallup, who was, I tell you what, almost killing any chances of going forward again the way he's playing as a backman. He's been playing brilliantly. And the crowd applauds the lead of Draper and the grab from the big former Don. 50 from goal, left half forward. Sam Draper puts the Lions into attack again. Kicks a high ball to a packet, full forward. Off hands, Reveal Roves. Hands to Lohman. That's two for the showman. On the right foot snap from 25.
Oh, here we go again.
And that is 17 inside 50s to 3 for 3 goals, 5-23 to nothing. And at the moment, it dead set looks like the two-time champion playing the bottom of the ladder.
It does. It's just, can they get their hands on the ball at all?
Yeah, there's no intent to really hard defend. I know they've been copying it in the press the last couple of weeks, Acker, with on the footy shows and the defensive stuff. But when you see it here live, Draper, and he's playing against the young ruck Blackiston, he just pushed hard forward and he just watched him go and marked the ball, and the overlap happened, and there's just too many easy possessions in Brisbane's forward 50. When you're getting pumped, you'd think you'd have numbers down there and it'd be hard to score, but if they kick it straight, geez, she's dangerous.
And what is Dean Solomon actually doing? The spares down there, it's hurting him on offence.
Well, Draper gets beaten in this one by Blackiston. Lockie Neal still on the ground after that contest. Bounced straight back up when the ball was there, though. Sorko gave him the handball. He was like a jack-in-the-box. It went to left half forward. Lohman worried his opponent out of it. Gave it back to Levi Ashcroft, then to Jared Berry. Wheels around onto the right foot. Bruce Reveal flies front and square. Ashcroft will. And in an absolute millisecond, drops it onto the right boot and kicks a goal. What brilliant roving, but what reflexes. He shows the hands to the crowd. Lions have their fourth goal, 4-5-29. The Bombers yet to lift off.
Yeah, McGrath just need to go with him then as a defensive playing on. He goes front and centre. Ashcroft, where everyone should go, small forward. McGrath just sits on the side hoping it comes out his way, and just an easy snap for a class of Ashcroft. It's just their defensive stuff is way off.
I reckon even that hand to foot from Will, that's as quick as, remember Winnie Abraham, how quick he was? He was the quickest I ever saw.
This guy's, he's from a forward stoppage and crumbs, he's unbelievable. Yep.
That is so good. Essendon, are you even going to show up and play, please?
Meanwhile, at the MCG, the D's lead the Tigers by 31. Centre stoppage. There you go, Jace. There's a clearance.
Finally.
It's kicked forward for the Bombers by Durham. Into the pocket, 2 around it, 2 on 2. Kako roves and has a snap for the Dons. Doesn't get the curl required to get it through the major opening. And it's clattered through for a behind. But it's Essendon's first score, met by the Bronx cheers at the Gabba. Bombers have taken 22 minutes to get a point as the Lions come through the corridor and the restart.
Oh, straight through the middle. It bounced in front of Rayner. Rayner gave it to Will Ashcroft. Had a bounce. Flicks it inside to his brother Levi. He has a bounce. Gets over 50. Sweeping handball. McLuggage from 40. Oh, textbook. Coast to coast footy from the Brisbane Lions. Straight down the middle of the ground. 5-5-35. Plays one behind. It's a 34-point margin. And Matty Primus, Jason Ackermanis, I reckon that's why there was so much effort on the cheer squads. Putting the...
That was right.
I hope they're not getting paid by the letter, because the Essendon cheer squad had "We Are Essendon," and that was about as much effort as I saw there.
That was too easy as training drill. Good to see Hugh, good old Suitcases, get a goal. They need more from him in that area. But, Matty, I can't even tell the listeners just how bad this is. What am I supposed to say?
Well, you can't say much. You just look at the effort. Who come back here for Brisbane to spoil that ball, so Caddy could mark it. So just the intent, I'm not going to let my defender go one-on-one. And then the other way around, there's nothing.
Draper taps down to Neil, who was held. Free kick. Brisbane will get the clearance again here. Neil, hand passes to Will Ashcroft. I think he realises he's at the buffet today. He kicks it towards Morris at full forward. Couldn't mark. McCluggage roves, hands it to the goal mouth, but no one's there for the Lions. And young Farrow takes it on the goal line for the Bombers. His hand pass, though, he gets it back in the pocket and is under pressure and tackled over the line. Gave it to Pryor. Pryor gave it back to him, and it's over the boundary line. And once again, Brisbane's in attack. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Quentin Hull, Michael Price, Matt Primus and Jason Ackermanis. Brisbane 5-5. 35 lead Essendon 1 behind. 33.5 played as the ball's thrown in. Brian beaten by Draper. Roved by Neil. His kick on goal won't have the purchase. Morris almost marks in the goal mouth. He's harassed off it, though, by the Bombers' defence. And eventually Roberts walks it through for a point. 5-6 to 1 point.
Tell you what. The backmen are getting well. They should be getting well paid at the moment. Essendon, you're doing double the work of the forwards at the moment.
So Archie Roberts comes out of the goal square, launches one towards the outer side. Good contest from Peter Wright, brought it to ground. Now through hands. Dersma gave it to Kako. Kako long down the line. That's all he could possibly do. And Ty Gallop in between Caddy and Wright. And that's no mean feat. Rises between the two and fists it over the boundary line.
The second coming of Justin Lepich.
Oh, that was magnificent.
Ty Gallop. He's not going to go forward ever again if he keeps playing like this across half back.
Spot on.
Well, you never know your luck in the big city.
Boundary throw in on the outer side. And, well, there's a whistle there in the clinches. It's an Essendon free kick. Parrish was being held. Just forward of the wing. Parrish, a rare entry inside 50 for Brisbane. Guess who's there to knock it away from Caddy? Gallop punches it 10 rows back. And he's saying, well, you might have got the big deal through to 2031, Nate, the extension of his current deal, which is already through to 2028. But Ty Gallop is thinking, well, I'm already a premiership player and I'm playing in one of the best teams in the comp. And I'm giving you a bath so far today.
Still going to come last, Nate.
Throw in across, half forward. Draper got in front, slapped it in the path of Bailey, who couldn't pick it up. Durham could, got round traffic, and his kick was semi-smothered, picked up by Zorko. The handball still in defensive 50 for Brisbane to Jasper Fletcher. Under a bit of pressure, he puts it out towards half-back. Nicely picked up by Farrow. Put the handball out to Roberts. Oh, he gave his teammate. It was in Clark who was accepted the ball and was absolutely belted on the arc of 50 by a couple of Lions, all fairly. And the umpire's going to throw it up quickly. Once again, it's slapped down there by Bryant. Towed out of there, and there's a chance for the Bombers. Mark taken there Nicely done.
Sharp got the kick.
Giannis.
Was it Sharp out of the middle there?
Yep.
So Conor Giannis has taken the ball and he's taken a 45 outside angle to the right.
That is some Greek name. Imagine how many times he's got to say that when he goes to like a hotel. Yes. What's
Kondog. Sorry, what was that? IA.
So Bombers fans would be willing this one through. 20 inside 50s to 7. It is a 35-point margin in favour of Brisbane late in the first quarter. Kondogiannis launches the right boot into it, but it just fades away at the last moment, one behind. So 36 plays 2, 34 points the margin, the Lions lead.
Short inbound down the middle. Will Ashcroft receives from Zorko, hands it back to Zorko, kicks it to the pocket for Andrews. They flirted with the corridor rush there, and Zork said, nah, it's closed up, so I'll kick it to the co-captain in the pocket. Andrews, conservative kick to Neil. Marks it in the left back pocket. So you've got the mail on Bailey. What's the mail on Neil that you've got for us, Acker?
No, he's going.
He's going?
Yeah, he's just got to decide where.
Okay, long kick towards the wing, and there's a free kick in the pack going Brisbane's way to Eric Hepwood. So there you go. You've heard it from Acker first here on ABC Sport this afternoon. Bailey stays, but Neil goes.
I'd say he's going to Collingwood.
Okay.
Correct.
Hipwood short to Zorko. Zorko short to McKenna. Brisbane share on the wing. McKenna hands it to Zorko. Hands it back to Eric, who runs the half forward. Miss hits his kick terribly to full forward. And a very well controlled mark.
Great mark.
By the Bombers defender back there in Dersma. It came in flat and hard, and he juggled it to his chest. Now Pryor receives in the left back pocket and kicks Essendon clear.
He kicked it to a 2-on-1 Gallop against Caddy, but he had Harris Andrews for help. Gallop I thought he was going to get a free kick there for an illegal grab, but no, it was nicely tackled there.
You're right, Caddy. He had Perkins free for an easy exit just to take the pressure off. He ignored him and kicked it to a 2-on-1.
Just bad choices being made at the moment. Draper got the ball forward. Dunkley was hassled off it there by Clark, did well. Going back and getting it, though, was Roby. He swept a handball to Parrish. Then it went backwards to Roberts. He chipped it forward. Well played, and it gets back to Clark. His handball off to Merritt. Merritt tries to deliver it. Juggling effort from Nate Caddy. Got away there from Gallop. He kicks it inside 50. The nicely weighted kick. Mark taken, 35 out. It's a slight angle to the left, but that was a beautifully weighted kick there from Nate Caddy.
It's better movement too, just to be able to get some flow in their game out of the back half.
Now, Archie Perkins did read it well, but it was a well-weighted kick.
It's a beautiful kick, and that's what you need when you're forward in this side. You need good kicks. There, he's going around the corner. You know how much I hate this.
Yeah, so Perkins on an angle from the left, facing inboard, curling it around to the left, and you're going to hate that even more, Acco, because he's pulled it.
I just can't understand it.
Third behind, 36 plays 3.
Well, I can help you understand it, Jason. They aren't confident kicking drop punts straight anymore.
Well, tell me
the fear of missing and the fear of a skill error, they'd rather... it's crazy, isn't it?
That is more accurate.
Well, I didn't try and explain that to you, but I try to explain why they do it. Durham's got the hands off the long in. Caddy's given away a free kick to a ball that should have been a goal. So did that go through the major opening? He went for a huge fly.
That's one of
the ball's gone through for a score.
You'll ever see.
But Harris Andrews was given no chance to contest it because Caddy, he's cost his team a goal there. Nate Caddy with an unrealistic leap. That would have been a great goal from Durham.
Would have been.
Long kick from outside 50, and now Parrish hasn't done the REM. And he's given away 50 in the right back pocket for Brisbane.
It would have
minutes ago.
Would have been mark of the year.
So Fletcher plays on with the 50. Hands to Zorko. Back to Fletcher. Long kick from Fletcher to full forward. Draper almost marked. Couldn't. Off hands. Hipwood makes a tackle, but it's high. And it's a free kick to Essendon's Harry Jones at right half back for the Bombers.
Dear. So Nate Caddy, seriously, that would have been mark of the century had he taken that.
As it was brain fade of the century because it cost his team a goal.
Too true.
I'm not worried. That's way more exciting than most of the play from Essendon that whole quarter.
How about shepherding it through for a goal?
Yep.
Isn't that what key forwards do as well?
Apparently, but I'd rather go for a hang every day of the week. Playing the most boring footy you've ever seen at the moment.
Well, they've brought it down to just beyond centre wing on the outer side, Essendon. It's gone over the boundary line, throw in, and it's going to be a free kick here. No, the umpire said it was Bruce Reville was taken. and we'll do it all again. Ball up, Draper grabbed it out of the ruck, put it onto the big slipper, bounced there in front of Logan Morris, but some good defence. Well done by Parrish, got the handball forward to Roby. Roby back to Parrish, forward to centre wing. Right. Now inside 50. Oh, Durham. The diving effort couldn't take it. Kako picked it up, gave it up to Perkins, and handball backwards outside 50. And that generous round of applause is for the home side, who are leading the Bombers by 33 points, 5-6-36 to Essendon, 3 straight behinds. So the Bombers kept goalless in that first quarter. The goal scorers, Kai Lohmann's got 2 for Brisbane, Will Ashcroft, Charlie Cameron, Hugh McLuggage, and that is correct weight.
Thank you, Michael. The game of the MCG is getting close to three-quarter time. Melbourne hosting Richmond there, although both teams have that as their home ground. But it's the D's home game, and they lead the game by 37 points. Melbourne 11-11-77 to Richmond's 5-10-40. So D's by 37. Earlier across town at Docklands, the Western Bulldogs defeated West Coast. Aaron Norton kicking 5 goals as the Bulldogs kicked 13-8-86 to beat the Eagles 9-16-70. There are 3 games in the National Rugby League today. The first of them is complete. South Sydney has defeated Newcastle by 26 points to 24. A pretty emotional day there. Many of you would be aware of the South Sydney player Jai Arrow and his recent diagnosis with motor neurone disease. It's a huge fundraiser going through this month for him, and they had a big birthday party for him there at Stadium Australia today. We actually had him interviewed on ABC Sport earlier today. I'm sure there'll be somewhere where you can pick that up on our socials. There's a couple of choice grabs from him, so it was great to hear from Jai Arrow. And Souths, his team, did the job against the Knights, winning 26 points to 24. Meanwhile, Game 2 is at Brookvale. Just started the second half. Manly Warringah hosting North Queensland. The Sea Eagles lead the Cowboys there. Manly 14 to North Queensland 6. And then later this evening, the Melbourne Storm will host the Gold Coast Titans. Quarter time at the Gabba. It's Brisbane 5-6-36 to Essendon 3 behinds. You're listening to Sunday Footy on ABC Sport.
Comedy, music and tricky clues.
Because Spicks and Specs is back. More music than a comedy night, more comedy than a concert, and enough trivia to impress your co-workers for weeks.
New Spicks and Specs. Streaming now on ABC iView.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Parrish, but his kick is turned over. Charlie Cameron takes the mark 50 from goal as the Bombers can't get that exit right. Man on the marks on 50. Cameron from left half forward. He's got the distance, Jason. He's kicked the goal. That's the first of the afternoon/evening. And it's Charles Cameron with goal 35 of this season. Handed on to Berry, breaks a tackle of Jones on 55 and chips it to Lohmann 40 out. Thought of playing on, but then stops. Kai Lohmann, 29 goals so far this campaign. He's played every game in 2026 for the Lions, and that's a fine right foot drop punt, which is Brisbane's second goal. Oh, and he shows his hands to the crowd, a little bit of early showmanship. Kicks a high ball to a packet, full forward, off hands, Reveal Rose, hands to Lohmann, that's 2 for the showman, on the right foot snap from 25.
Bruce Reveal flies front and square, Ashcroft will, and in an absolute millisecond, drops it onto the right boot and kicks a goal. What brilliant roving, but what reflexes. He shows the hands to the crowd. Rayner gave it to Will Ashcroft, had a bounce, flicks it inside to his brother Levi. He has a bounce, gets over 50, sweeping handball, McLuggage from 40. Oh, textbook, coast to coast footy from the Brisbane Lions, straight down the middle of the ground.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Most of the natural light has disappeared on what has been a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. Twilight footy at the Gabba, and it's Brisbane leading by 33 points. Welcome back. I'm Quentin Hull. Brisbane 5-6-36. Essendon 3 behinds. Matthew Primus and Jason Ackermanis will try and go a little bit deeper than, well, what the scoreboard says. And, you know, I'll start by chucking 22 inside 50s to 10 at you, gentlemen. It looks every bit of two-time champs versus last.
Does. Yeah, it certainly does. I think that the skating, the possessions are only 20 plus more, and tackles around the same. Brizzy have had nearly 2,100 metres gained to 1,500 to Essendon, and that's what stands out. Whenever they get their ball in the hand, they're able to transition it from wherever it is on the ground. When it's in their forward 50, they're getting easy shots. They can transition it the whole way from stoppage. They look super strong, where Essendon can't. And obviously 11 shots to 3 just shows you that scoreboard could have been really, really, really ugly at quarter time. So just the pressure when Brisbane have the ball is not existent, not just the tackles, but there's no harassment, there's no chasing, there's no coming off to support your one-on-one defenders. They put a spare behind the ball at the end, but that didn't really help them that much. So, it could get ugly. Brisbane's percentage now up to 114%, Q, so chasing the Crows 116.9. Good start for them.
Yeah, I just reckon if you're Dean Solomon, and I have no idea what he's thinking at all, because I cannot tell what on earth they're trying to do, but there's a kick that's coming out of that back line, probably more into the half-forward wing area. If they can get that right, which they did only once that quarter, instead of kicking the 2-on-1s or just getting that free play that's coming behind the ball or coming at the ball carrier, if they do that, they'll actually get a whole lot more inside forward 50s, and you never know. They might actually look like they can play this game.
Zorko on return to the team, leads all comers with 13 disposals in the first term, 11 for Neil, 10 for Will Ashcroft. Essendon's best, they're all sort of half-backers as you'd expect. Archie Roberts with 10, Durham, Dersma and Parrish all with 8. By the way, that Melbourne-Richmond scoreline is also one to keep an eye on. Three-quarter time there, Demons lead by 43 points. But Melbourne, if they win, they'll also go to 44 premiership points along with Adelaide and Brisbane. D's are about 109%. And then, as we said, Adelaide's big win last night gained 5.5% for them. So they're about 117, and Brisbane now is basically 114. We're a long way out, but keeps us entertained, particularly if the footy's going to be average.
Yes.
We'll keep you across the storyline of the jostling for the top 4.
Maybe even some more Boney M
yes.
facts.
1976, Aka.
76.
Year before. I was 1.
We're talking about Daddy Cool. Brian got over the top of Darcy Fort, but there's been a whistle on play. Zach Bailey was held behind the ball. So, according to Jason Ackermanis, staying with the Brisbane Lions. We'll find out more soon as Zach Bailey plays on. Goes to the right of the mark, inside 50. Logan Morris will get a free kick.
I don't know if that was... It was a free kick for holding on, but I tell you, it's got a shove in the back. Maybe he did get held.
He was at the front of the pack.
It's not much in that, though, Bryce.
No, I wouldn't have thought so, but in the modern era, I reckon Jason Dunstall would have kicked 2,500 goals.
It was 6-on-6, just for starters.
But Logan Morris talking about a player that can kick goals. Announced himself last year with 53-20. He's kicked 41-28 this year.
He's a player. Some guys you just pick, you never ever know, and this guy just can play. He's just a footballer.
45-degree angle to the right. He's come off the long run. He'll kick it from about 35 metres. Launches one and pushes it right. There you go. You give him a big rap, and that's what he does. 37 plays 3. 34 points the margin. Lions lead early doors, second term.
And, well, the kick in has been marked by Bruce Reveal. That was the Bruce. So Essendon's turned it over. Reveal's right half forward and 60 out. Puts Brisbane back into attack to the pack. Contagianis with a big fist, though. Knocks it out of play for the Bombers in the left back pocket there for Essendon. Right forward pocket for the Lions. By the way, Jace, I saw they were playing some old vision of that 2001 game against Essendon when they still had the old Social Club Terrace out there.
Yes.
You kicked a couple of good goals that night. The old
20-point win.
The night of Predator. If she bleeds, we can kill it. Will Ashcroft ropes the crumbs. His hand pass hoping for Loman, just couldn't get there. Picked up by McGrath. Rushed clearing kick for Essendon. Lands near Parrish. He couldn't gather, but coming through, young Roby does for the Bombers. Hands it on to Durham. Hands it to McGrath, who runs through half back. Hand passes Essendon to the wing. Contagianis there. Hands it on to Day Wicks. This is nice from the Bombers. Kick inside 50's nowhere near Peter Wright. Missed him by 3 metres, and repels for Brisbane.
And does it well. Gets it to Zorko. Zorko with a typically aggressive kick into the centre circles. Well spoiled. Crowd reckoned that it was an illegal attack on Will Ashcroft, but play on, says the umpire. McGrath gathered and Kicked it towards centre wing. Nicely taken there by Archie Perkins.
Just got to get this next kick right. They're never to the advantage of the forwards.
Well, the Lions have set up again nicely, so it's a long kick inside 50. Harris Andrews had the fly. Got there, went through his hands at ground level. Peter Wright, handball Parrish, handball Roby. It goes backwards to Durham. Durham through traffic. Got it back out here to Contagianis. Gets onto the left foot. Kicks it towards the goal square, and Darcy fought too easily. Just flies the big ruckman, takes a nice defensive mark and plays on.
Hand passes to Bailey, delivers beyond defensive 50 to Morris, who marks in the centre square, still just shy of halfway, kicks wide to the right wing, marked by Leicester, thought of playing on, decides to chip infield to Rayner. Rayner takes the grab and holds up, but there's options everywhere for Brisbane. Short pass infield to the corridor. Will Ashcroft marks, kicks to centre half forward for his brother. Marks on 48, weaves away from Essendon's flimsy attempts to stop him and kicks another Brisbane goal. How do they do that so easily at half forward? That's disgraceful from the Bombers. And Levi says, thank you, 8th goal of the season, to keep pace with his brother. It's interesting, they've both exactly kicked the same score coming in today. Will's got a goal now, Levi's got a goal, and Brisbane lead by 40.
That'll be creating some conversation in the household, won't it, with those two, how competitive they are. But you just mentioned the NQ. I just count. Once Ashcroft kicked that goal, there was 10 Essendon players in Lions forward 50, and there were 7 Brisbane Lions. So all Essendon did then when they were running quickly, Brisbane with the ball in hand, they just flooded back. There was no putting pressure on the man. So that's why they had 3 or 4 uncontested marks. They just want to flood back. They don't want to pick up an opponent, stop their uncontested movement, and then they get easy shots on goal.
So both the boys, Acker started with 7 goals, 11 coming into today. And now Will went to 8-11. Now Levi's 8-11.
Oh, good work, fellas.
And forward to the stoppage. Bailey toes it off the ground. It bounces in front of the contest. Getting there. Hipwood couldn't quite pick it up. It was Logan Morris, in fact. It dribbles out now. Bombers with a chance, and once again Durham finds the ball. He's got no problem finding the ball at all. His 11th disposal coming up. Yeah, he is.
Played very well.
Chips it, the 45 kick to Dyson Sharp. He has got the Heppel here. You're dead right, Q.
It's how I remember the Dyson about his name.
He chips it forward to Parrish. Parrish just inside the field of play. And
Dyson
again,
cleaning up at half-back.
Well,
we're too early for those types.
Yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry about it's Parrish now. Kicks it to right half forward, and Harris Andrews just flies above all of them and belts it over the boundary line. Will be a throw in 55 metres out at right half forward for the Bombers. They trail by 40.
He's Michael Price. I'm Quentin Hull. Your experts are Matt Primus and Jason Ackermanis. Zane Bojak's on the boundary. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Demons going further ahead at the MCG. Last quarter's just started there. Melbourne lead Richmond by 49 as the ball's whacked back over the boundary line.
Can I say, Bo did say that he would love to be out there playing, and to be honest, I would like him to be out there playing.
Bo?
Yeah. Big.
Bowie McDonald?
Zane Bojak.
Oh, Zaney Bojak.
Zane Bojak. Our great Bojak over there.
Yeah, okay.
He's a bit quiet today.
Well, not much is happening.
I know.
Darcy Fort clearly beats Bryan at ruck time. Clean possession. Hand passes to Bailey. Weaves a path at half-back and chips the ball to Rayner. Marks. Brisbane explode forward again. Kicks to the middle of the ground, gathered by Hipwood on the bounce. Kicks to half forward. Dunkley's got a paddock, 60 from goal. Marks and slots it to McKenna. 35 out. Now, there's class and there's ball movement, but what are we seeing here? But what are we seeing here?
Well, you saw a bit of work rate. That was work rate coming out of that stoppage as it flowed down the ground. Of course, Dunkley got on the end of it. He had 3 options, and then he chose just a nice little deft touch there for Connor.
So Connor McKenna, who played 79 games for the Bombers before he went on AFL sabbatical after 2020. Before returning to Brisbane 3 years later, he sinks his right boot into it, and that will be a sweet goal for Connor McKenna of Brisbane against his old mob. And the Lions lead by 46 points at 7-7-49 to 3 points. 7 minutes, second turn.
Better than the other Connor today, Matty Promise.
Yes.
Minute 9.
I'm surprised. I mean, you always call this guy Conor McGregor.
I do.
Conor McKenna's going better than Conor McGregor.
If you're just watching the replay now, it is 3 Essendon midfielders just watching Brisbane kick the ball through the middle of the ground. None of them any idea where Dunkley is, who was on them at the stoppage, and then Dunkley, who didn't have to, he just tracked the ball, didn't have to work hard, but had no one, as you called it, Q, no one within 25 metres of him and hits an uncontested target. And all the other stuff, your contested possessions equals, clearances are going okay, but if you don't have an intent without the ball, you're in trouble.
So Draper got up high, but Essendon couldn't quite gather with Roby, tacked out of there by Dunkley, but it's going to be a free kick. Zane Bojak's on the boundary.
Yeah, Harry Jones took some painkillers. He's dealing with a bit of a cork on his right side, but he's back out there, guys. He's able to run.
Roby got the free kick in the centre of the ground. Plays on, goes straight down the middle. Big pack, caddy flies, spoiled there by Harris Andrews. Roving Fletcher, gave it to Zorko, then backwards by hand to Answorth. He just gets a dump kick out of there. It might be coming back. Roby is trying hard for the Bombers. Gathered, handball backwards, through hands. Day Wicks gets it now backwards to Redmond. Redmond inside 50 to the pocket. And once again, the spoiling effort. It's not the easiest job being a forward playing for the Bombers, especially if you just floated up there. Peter Wright had no chance against Harris Andrews, who belted it over the boundary.
So Wright's got Andrews and Gallup's got Caddy at the moment. And mind you, the Lions defenders haven't had to do a lot of work. Boundary throw in. Bryan to the front, taps down for Essendon. Neil roves to the Lions, though. Shunts it to Berry under pressure near the boundary. Handball doesn't create much, but Zorko gets it. Gets a free kick for being legged, and they can't play on because they'd stop.
No, it was for diving on it and taking the legs out, Q.
No, Kako thinks he's getting the ball. Zorko thinks he's getting the ball. It's a free kick to Essendon. Zorko seems bemused. So it's Kako's free kick at right half forward for the Bombers. High kick towards full forward. Is there a flyer in the pack? Yep, it's Draper fisting it through for a point. Brisbane 7-7, 49, Essendon 4 points.
That's a rule. You just can't take the legs of the opponent these days. Or what is it even around in our day, Matty?
So Darcy Wilmot playing his 100th game, made his debut in the elimination final against Richmond in 2022.
The Tom Lynch post not tall enough game.
Bingo. Oh, then they try to extract the ball. It could be coming back. Blackiston did well in the contest, brought it to ground, but now the Lions have the numbers. It spills out towards the wing. Sullivan Roby, like him. Handball back inboard to McGrath. McGrath's handball missed the target. Draper picked it up for Brisbane. Tried to get a handball out. Zorko, boy, welcome back to the Zork. He gave the handball back to Ryan Lester. They're still inside defensive 50. Fletcher goes straight up the middle to Bailey. Bailey takes the mark. And in traffic, they did beautifully there, Brisbane. And now Essendon set up okay in front of him. So he goes long to left half forward. How he managed to get free, McCluggage. Handball to the runner, Bruce Reville. Reville into the lead of Charlie Cameron, whose opponent is 15 metres away from him. They moved it that quickly. Charlie Cameron takes it against the boundary line, 25 metres out. He's immediately facing inboard, looking to curl this one around with the right foot. Spinning the yellow Sharon.
The orange, with very orange.
Very, very fluoro boots. Charlie Cameron leans into it and pulls it short. One behind. 50 plays 4. It is a 46-point margin. Game high. Zane Bojak's on the boundary.
Yeah, look, I tell you what, the Essendon attitude, I guess, needs to lift. There's very little talk even here on the bench. I've got to tell you, it's almost like they're resigned to their fate already.
Short kick in. McGrath receives in the left back pocket. Brisbane by 46 points. We've just scratched the surface of the second quarter as McGrath kicks long to a contest. Caddy gets there but has to fist for the Bombers. Ground level, roved by Clark. His hand pass doesn't find a teammate, though, stolen by Neil of Brisbane. And the co-captains combined by hand. Neil to Andrews, Andrews to Neil. Kicks it backwards 30 metres, but Lester can set up from right half back. Sins his kick, but there's no pressure on Dunkley to pick up that mongrel. Hands it to Breville in the middle. Bruce hands it on to Rayner. Rayner with his left boot. Kicks it wide to Fletcher, and the Lions are just loving the room to run their angles here. Fletcher now kicks to half forward. Cameron 10 metres in front of his man. Takes the mark 70 from goal. Charlie Cameron with another forward entry for Brisbane. Kicks it to the pocket. Loman! Flew got a hand but couldn't complete the mark, much to the disdain of the Gabba faithful. If Jeff White was here, he would have been out of his seat. That had a long runway to it. He got up. He just couldn't catch it. Throwing in the pocket.
Had his name all over that. Got hand, didn't get interference. He just needed to get work on those core muscles, I think, there, Matty. Hold those ones.
Gee, wouldn't he give that a celebration? Slightly thin throw in there, slap forward there by Draper, and once again the Bombers can bring it out. Was well done. That Contagianis has got it away and now intercepted by Wilmot. Gave it to Connor McKenna by hand, who gave it straight back to Wilmot, who kept running, but nicely tracked over the boundary there.
It's been a problem all year, Pricey, these spindly arms.
They spend too much time on leg day.
Like, it's happening around the league, Jason. I've been watching.
Hasn't it?
Throw in across the arc of 50, a very congested forward 50 for Brisbane. Dunkley gathered. Just nice kick, but it was beautifully intercepted there. Well done by Jones, who took a good defensive mark.
Quick kick to right half back. It hits the chest of Giannis, the 18-year-old who was picked 36 in the national draft. Playing just his 6th game, kicks the centre half back. Oh, should have been marked by Durham, went through his fingers. Stolen by McCluggage of Brisbane. From 60, kicks to the pocket beyond the reaching hands of Hipwood. It pitches near the boundary and out. And the throw-in will be the result. Oh, yeah.
He could have kicked it to 5 blokes. Actually, probably kicked one of the worst options. Would have ended up on the boundary there.
13-minute second term. The natural light is gone. We're under the floodlights at the Gabba. Brisbane 7-8-50 to Essendon's 4 behinds. Boundary throw in. Oh, Draper thought of clean possession. Just had it stolen at the last minute among the congestion. And we'll see it thrown in the air again. Giannis did enough to tackle Dunkley there and stop it. Will Draper go again here? He's up against Bryan. Neil tried to kick it out of the air for Brisbane. Bailey picks up. Tried to break a tackle, should be holding the ball. Got rid of it. Cordwell picks up and clears. Play on. Bombers get it beyond defensive 50. Right roves the pack. Hand passes to Roby. Roby bounces twice to the wing. Collides with Gallup as his hand pass set a task of Caddy. Caddy's got 3 against him. Couldn't win the ball. Numbers win out. Answorth picks up for Brisbane at half-back. Chips to the wing for Neil. Neil kicks to Reveal. Not 15, so he plays on. Reveal with a deep kick to full forward. Out the back. Essendon ball with Redmond, who hand passes to Roberts to get them clear.
Oh, he has a bounce. It barely just got back, and handball over the former line in Jackson Pryor. He had a bounce and then lost the handle on it, and Charlie Cameron came in to intervene and took it over the boundary line. Just a shot of Essendon interim coach Dean Solomon on big screen, and he looked nonplussed, to be honest with you. It's throw-in's going to happen at right half forward for Brisbane, 60 from goal. They lead by 46 points. 15 gone of this second term. Draper propelled it forward for Brisbane, cut off by Durham. Handball forward, got it to Dyson Sharp. He chips it towards half forward, and once again the delivery to Nate Caddy. He must be pulling that blonde hair straight out. Ty Gallup got in front of him and easily took a defensive mark. Flared it left to Ryan Lester, then straight up the middle to Darcy Wilmot,
who kicks it back to Fletcher, having run to the left half-back flank, who now transfers to Rayner. In fact, that was Lester who got that ball. Lester kicking to Rayner.
They're a better side when since he's come back. He's just so good for their structure.
Rayner kicks to left half forward, and Lohman marks uncontested. 60 from goal, hits the lead of Cameron. This is pathetic. It really is. The ball movement is good from Brisbane, but
it's the best game if you're a Brisbane player. You're not going to get a bruise on you. All you got to do is worry about, do I get any fatigue in my muscles? I could do some injury, because there's nothing happening out.
It's okay if they're getting beaten, but you just don't want to see ball movement where the opposing team is 5 metres off every contest. Charlie Cameron has kicked 1 goal 2. This assignment, 45 metres out, 10 in from the boundary at left half forward, tries to drop punt, hits it off the side of the boot. It's on the head of the pack in the opposite pocket and fisted through for a point. 7-9-51 to 4 points.
Sorry, Q, there's just no pressure between the arcs. That's their 7th shot from coast to coast nearly. And so if you're Essendon's back, you've got no chance when the ball comes in with no pressure. Brisbane's forward line is amazing. If there's no pressure, there's going to be a huge score.
Oh, it's Clark who gathered it on centre wing, and then poor old Brisbane's forwards, Caddy and Pete Wright. There is Pete Wright is arms everywhere saying kick it to advantage, give me a look at it. So is Caddy. Apart from the first couple of minutes, the delivery to them has been really poor. Well, poor old Caddy there again, Matty Primus. We saw the fact that you had Gallup and Darcy Wilmot come across. He was
sit on his head.
2-on-1. What hope has the kid got? Doesn't matter how good he is. Draper took it out of the ruck, gave it back to Bruce Revell. Handball back to stationary Darcy Wilmot. It bounces away from Lachie Neale over the boundary line. It'll be a last touch, last disposal free kick.
Good pressure on that delivery, on that kick, and therefore they get a free kick off it. Not rocket science what they need to do.
Archie Roberts to Sam Durham, who can hold his head up high so far. He's
been
having
their
a
best player by a mile, hasn't he?
Yeah, up to 13 possessions now. Durham on the wing. with his right boot, kicks the Bombers to attacking 50. Draper, though, in the hole, just to rub it into Bombers fans. Takes the, not uncontested. It's a good clunk in a 3-on-3. He was the biggest guy there.
Yeah, that's that kick that Matty Primus is talking about. You've got to do something else there. That long kick is not working. You've got to break it up here as they try and go out the far side of the lines.
Draper kicks it backwards to Lester. Near the point post in the left back pocket, kicks across the face of goal to his co-captain in Harris Andrews.
You should be able to hold them in here. You're deep inside your forward 50. You've got to be able to hold them in or force them long down the line.
Short past the corridor, though, to Wilmot. Wilmot down the corridor to Cameron. Kick to centre-half back on the head of Neil. Spoiled by Durham, but Neil follows up. Taps it towards Will Ashcroft. Lost it. Caddy does well. Taps it to Durham for the Bombers. Kicks inside 50. And the man that Craig Starcevich anointed the caresser all those years ago when he was a Gold Coast son. 2-metre Peter, the leading goal kicker for the Dons last year, takes the mark 35 metres out. Why did he nickname him that? Because he's a beautiful kick of the foot.
Outstanding kick of the foot.
And his wonderful red hair. But can I say again...
It had nothing to do with his hair, Jason.
Durham. They need about 12 other Durhams. He's been sensational.
We've wrapped his kicking. Can the Bombers finally get a goal? Peter Wright misses to the right. So W. Wright misses R. Wright, and that's a wrong for a 5th point.
Dyson will be hoovering that one up next time.
At least there was good pressure on those uncontested marks, and that's what created the turnover. They weren't folding back, sitting back on their toes. They jammed them up and got the turnover.
So from the goal square, Jasper Fletcher plays on more or less straight down the middle. Marked by Lohman. Handball to the runner, Jared Berry. They've got it up to centre wing. Got it forward by hand to Harris Andrews, backwards to Lohman. Lohman into the pocket. A bounce pass to Logan Morris, who has an immediate snap under a bit of pressure there and kicks it out of bounds on the full. Well done by Harrison Jones, and he takes the free kick and flares it across to the outer side and finds Farrow.
Not much drama at the G, by the way. Melbourne winning that one by 51 at the moment. The Demons 14-13, 97. Richmond 6-10. 46.
The game could be all over, Q.
Well, it may be. It's in fact 16 minutes final term there. The Dogs beat the Eagles earlier today by 16. Another turnover for an Essendon exit. Gallup marks on the wing for Brisbane. Pumps the Premiers back into attack, and a big pack, and Lohman marks. Just read the flight the best. A clean clunk from Kai. He'll have a shot from 35.
Oh, it's great to see him jumping this year. Remember last year he was hampered by that ankle. But this year he's got his hops back. He's loving, he's enjoying live 5 last week. And if he does that, against a team like this, he's going to probably get another 4 or 5 shots at goal, I reckon.
Well, already has 2 this afternoon, Kai Lohman. This assignment, well within his capability. Slight angle right. And 35 metres out. The right foot drop punt. 3rd goal of the afternoon for Kai Lohman. And Brisbane now lead by 52 points. An 8th goal for the Lions. The hosts 8-9-57 to the Bombers 5 behinds. And the good thing about him getting the bag here, we get to hear that DJ Majestic's remix of 2022 to the Boney M Classic. Or is this the I don't know. But it was
like the original.
Yeah.
This has got a...
Oh, no, sorry. They did the Rasputin remix, yes.
Yes.
I'm getting my Boney M's mixed.
This is 1976 all over it, Kip.
Great year, 1976.
Was it really?
Yeah. That's 50 years ago now, Mike.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah, rightio.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Late to the party there,
the Rasputin is the remix you want to check out.
Oh, dear. No. But just getting my addition all out of whack. Raising the bat for half a century as Darcy Fort got it down. It was hacked out of there by Dunkley for Brisbane. It bounces to centre-half forward. Off hands. Locke Neal gathered it, and he was absolutely clobbered there by Merritt. Nice tackle. Umpire will come in and ball it up. 45 out from the Lions' goal. Very congested. Off hands. Will Ashcroft. Handball forward. Then Caldwell. He couldn't pick it up. Dersma could. Again tackled by Locke Neal. The umpire will come in and throw it up in a very similar spot. Around about 20 players surrounding this footy. Blackiston versus Fort. They both missed it at ground level. Dersma had it, was tackled. I thought a little high. The umpire said, no, Michael, I'll ball it up for a 3rd time in the same spot. 45 out, slight angle to the left.
Fort got first hand at ruck time. Merritt tries to row for Essendon, but he's swamped upon and can't get clear. That coat by the name of Josh Dunkley. wearing him to the ground there. And there's a free kick against Lockie Blackiston at the ruck there. Unrealistic attempt over Darcy Ford, who didn't like that. And they're having a bit of a wrestle as the ump calls play on. Neil on half forward, wins it near the boundary. Hands it to Will Ashcroft, who has a shot. Misses near side from 45. And that's a point. And Blackiston and Ford are still going at it as Brisbane move to 8-10-58 to 5 points.
Against Ford.
Zane on the boundary.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, Darcy Ford, did he give a bit of a gut punch there? I reckon he might have landed one on Blackiston.
Well, the
umpire went straight over there, Zane. Not sure I missed that, but he was very quick to pay 50, so he might have got him higher or a gut punch.
So, has that score counted? It obviously has.
Yep.
Well, he said it was high, the umpire. He signalled higher.
So, Bombers brought it over to Jones. Jones was trying to measure a kick, and it went out of bounds on the full. He couldn't find Perkins. Free kick to Lockneil, who went backwards to the arc to find Dunkley. Dunkley by hand to Zorko. Zorko kept running and received it back from Dunkley. Swept a handball forward to Lockneil. Bounce pass to Jared Berry. Oh, they're pulling out all the tricks here, the Lions. Berry, semi-tackled, gave it to Draper, who slapped it to his own advantage. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to go to the Bombers. Play on advantage. Sharp puts it in to Parrish into the centre of the ground, just short of the centre circles. He chips it forward, goes back to Sharp, surrounded. Now he plays on to the right of the mark, puts it to a one-on-one, and there you go. When you put it to a one-on-one to your forward's advantage, they might take the bloody mark.
I tell you, he made him look good, Peter Wright, because that was a horrible kick. It was a one-on-one as a wrestle. It wasn't for his skill and his clunk. It
might have been a floater, but it fell to the advantage side of the forward.
I think
Gallop's on him now, not Harris Andrews.
Yeah, well, that helps too.
Pricey, that was horrible.
Oh, you know me, I'm generous to a foldacker. Peter Wright, though, can the Bombers get their first goal of the game? He leans on it and squeezes it through. First goal of the game for the Bombers, and it arrives at the 24-minute mark of the second quarter. The Lions by 47, 8-10-58 to 1-5-11.
So among the musings, I wonder what Chris Fagan and his team, Matt, you're the current coach among the group. Ty Gallop is playing so well down back, obviously got outmarked there, but I mean, he's a young man. What are you going to do with him over the next 18 months? Just play him where needed, or is there a genuine design for Brisbane to need another key forward?
Yeah, that's a pretty good question. Well, Allen's due to come back at some stage, isn't he? So
that's when Oscar Allen is back, you'd assume that
he stays down.
With Allen and Morris, do you need Ty Gallop playing forward?
No, you don't. Jack Payne coming back for Brisbane.
Well, Jack Payne's gone for the rest of the season now.
He won't be back for a while.
And that being said, you'll need a run from him in the VFL, I think, before getting a game.
And Gardner's out with a hammy.
Here's the other one. Centre stoppage didn't clear it first time. They go again. Dersma's tackled by McCluggage. Right in the bullseye. Really good neutralising wrap-up tackle there from the returning Hugh McCluggage, the All-Australian of last year. Stoppage in the middle. Fort taps down. Bryan at an air swing trying to kick it for Essendon. Sharp does get boot to ball. Kicks it to half forward for the Bombers. Wright has it punched away by Andrews. Free kick against Harris, who's back on Peter Wright now, and Wright is starting to prove a handful. He takes the footy, having been awarded a free kick. Man on the mark, 45 from goal.
Yeah, not often you see Brisbane's two key defenders one-on-one ahead of the ball, but obviously the scoreboard allows that and they dictate their position. But yeah, great to see Pete. His body work sometimes not the best, but his last two efforts have been fantastic against good defenders.
6th year at the Bombers, Peter Wright. Launches on his right boot, always left, and just squeezes in for a score. So he's errant today.
Is that 4-1 last time they played these?
1 goal, 2 for Peter Wright. Essendon won 6-12, trail Brisbane 8-10-58. Saturday footy on ABC Sport at the Gabba.
So Wilmot just walks out of the goal square, gets to the right back pocket and kicks long towards the outer side. Fisted forward by Eric Hipwood. It was collected by Rayner, immediately tackled by the Bombers' Farrow and held up. The umpire will come in and throw it up. 70 out from the Bombers' goal at left half forward. It's slapped backwards, nicely picked up by Roby. Handball through Merritt. Got the handball again inside forward 50 to Kako. Gets away from Levi Ashcroft, he's opposite number 10. Then it goes through the hands of Kanogiannis and back into the middle, chip forward, and they've got another chance here, Essendon. All of a sudden, they're moving the ball with a little bit better purpose. Angus Clark takes it 55 from goal. He pops it towards a one-on-one there. Andrews v. Wright. Floating across the front was Darcy Wilmot, who spoiled. And it's dribbling over the boundary line for a throw-in right forward pocket.
Michael Price, Quentin Hull, along with Jason Ackermanis and Matt Primus in the box. Zane Bojack among the throng here at the Gabba. Looks 30,000 plus again as the ball's thrown in with Essendon in attack. Whistle before it arrives.
That was a great throw-in, can I say?
Yeah, it was, but it's a Brisbane free kick because Will Ashcroft was held before the contest. Chips it to Neil. Neil marks in the pocket, chips to Answorth at left half back. Noah Answorth and his issues with concussion this year, just his 9th game of the season. Decides to roll onto his right boot, Answorth. Kicks it to the wing. Hipwood too good in front of Jones. One-on-one mark to Eric. He chips infield to Neil. Neil marks. And there seems to be options everywhere for him. He goes conservatively with a kick to centre half back. Gallup takes the grab. Kicks it all over the head of Andrews at right half back. It gives Peter Wright a chance. Andrews chases after him. Wright dribbles it to the boundary. Falls over. It's won by Levi Ashcroft. Brisbane get out of jail there. Levi hands it on to Zorko. Zorko's kick as expected. Hits target on wing. It's Lester. Kicks in field. Wilmot marks. Edge of centre square. Just short of halfway.
Sweeps a handball forward to Zorko having a field day. Kicks it inside 50 and Zach Bailey got away from his opponent. There was a one-on-one between Hugh McLuggage and Farrow happening in front of him, but that pass sublime to Zach Bailey on the halftime siren will have a shot at goal. The man on the mark standing 45, outside angle to the right.
He was in there for an eternity. Yeah, fair dinkum. But anyway, here's a quality kick for goal this year. Is Zach. Should go through, you'd think.
23 goals, 14 for the year. He gets this one straight through the middle. Without a doubt, extends the lead for the Lions on the stroke of half-time. 9-10-64, playing 1-6-12. It is a 52-point margin at half-time. I'll go through the Bombers' goal scorers. That's a little easier. There's Peter Wright. He's got 1. When it comes to the Lions, Kai Lohman, the multiple scorer. He's got 3. Will Ashcroft, Charlie Cameron, Connor McKenna, Zach Bailey, Levi Ashcroft and Hugh McLuggage, all with singles.
So everything that we expected it wouldn't be, it is. So far through a half of footy.
Disappointing.
To get my mixed messaging there. Matt Primus, Jason Ackermanis. We've got listeners tuning in wanting to just, work out just how the expected script has played out so far with Brisbane almost 10 goals in front at half-time.
It took me to half-time to work out that Essendon actually trying to play man-on-man. I didn't know whether they were playing zone or man-on-man or what on earth they were doing in their ball movement. But it's so random. It's got no sequence. Outside of kicking to Peter Wright because he was on fire and he took some contested marks, and Durham, it has been just the worst footy I've seen all year from any team. I know they're at the bottom, but you've got to do something, please. Just give us some entertainment. Try and enjoy your footy.
Matt?
Well, there you go. Okay, yeah. Well, no, there isn't. There's little glimpses. You see 4 or 5 minute patch, but they're just not able to sustain. It's more when they don't have the ball. Okay, no. So yeah, there is some poor stuff going ahead of the ball, but they had a good 4 or 5 minute period towards the end of that quarter then. But it's more when they don't have the ball, just the desire to get the ball back. And I get it. We've all played in average teams, and when you get your backside touched up and all those sorts of things, but. There's no intent, especially off a game last week when they were insipid against St Kilda, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was horrible. You'd think there'd be something. But
and the Saints are a team battling to make wildcard games.
Yeah, and they were horrible with the way they just tried to defend and get at the opposition, and tonight hasn't been much better. And if you're going to play like that, geez, Brisbane are going to put a big score on you with their talent in their front half.
And both you and Acker have played in really good teams, and a season sort of transpires. So Brisbane, 3 of their last 4 games, they have not been able to breathe when they've got the ball because 3 of those 4 opponents have been Fremantle, Sydney and Geelong. And then they get a game like today and you think, what's this? Space. Ball movement. And it's a very different level of pressure that they're experiencing so far compared to recent times.
Thank you. Up at 115.1% they're on Brizzy.
Yes, now the game at the MCG's got a minute to go. Melbourne's going to win handsomely. Currently the lead for the Demons is 40 points. So Melbourne 15-15, 105 to Richmond's 9-11, 65. So by the time I sort of hit a few buttons and get some stats for you, they'll almost be final numbers at the MCG. Jacob Van Rooyen's kicked 6 goals for Melbourne. Jake Melksham's kicks 2. Big Max, he keeps doing his bit. Another 2 for Maxi Gawn.
Didn't she get his 500th? Has he kicked a goal today?
Who was after that?
Lynch was 499 after last week.
He has kicked...
no, he's kicked 1 point. He's kicked 1 point, Tom. Young Alga, the rising star nominee of a couple of weeks ago, has kicked 2 for the Tigers. Nankervis has kicked 2. Cummings kicked 2. And they're the main goal kickers in the game as far as ball winners. Jake Bowie's had 31. And right on the siren, the ex-Lion Harry Sharp's going to have a shot for goal. So we'll be able to give you that final margin. So Sharp's going to kick this. He's basically straight in front, 45 metres out. And he's got it. So that's another goal. And the final margin in the end in front of nearly 33,000 at the G, 32,893 to be precise. Melbourne has won by 46 points. The Demons 16 goals, 15, 111 to Richmond's 9-11, 65. So where does that leave them with their percentage? They finish on 109. That's a booster for them, but still inferior to Adelaide's 116.7 and Brisbane's 115.1 asterisk. All of those teams, Adelaide 4th, Brisbane 5th, Melbourne 6th, all with 44 premiership points as that race for the top 4 hots up. In the NRL earlier today, South Sydney beat Newcastle 26 points to 24. At Brookvale Oval, it's almost over there. Tight finish though. Manly lead North Queensland by 4 points. The Seagulls 18 lead the Cowboys 14. And there's also an evening game in the NRL tonight. We played at Melbourne's Amy Park, where the Storm are going to host the Gold Coast Titans. A reminder, anytime you want to catch up with the NRL coverage, it's the green button on ABC Listen. That's where you can hear it. But that Manly North Queensland game about to finish. The Cowboys have scored a late something. I think that's a try. They've gone up in an increment of 4, so that's a safe assumption. It's 18 all. If that is a try, they'll have a kick to come to win the game almost at full time at Brookvale. So that's an exciting one. We'll give you that news on the other side of the halftime news. And just if you missed it in the World Cup today, England will face off against Argentina in the semi-finals as those two teams won their quarterfinals today. Now, both went to extra time. England 2-1 against Norway, and Argentina scored 2 goals in extra time to beat Switzerland 3-1. So England to play Argentina in the last 4 of the World Cup. Oh, hold on. Look, I know that the news is waiting, but people, Zane Bojack will want to know if the Cowboys get this kick. So there's about a minute and a half left in that game, and I'm sure you'll be wanting to know how this conversion attempt, which is, I'm assuming, being kicked by Jake Clifford. Yep. So 18 all at Brookvale, 90 seconds to go. Clifford's got this kick from 15 in from touch, about 15 metres out, to give the Cowboys the lead. See, these are the kinds of things. Matt's very quick. We're watching on Matty Primus's phone. Well done, Mattress. Do you like him from here, Jake Clifford? He's a good kick.
He's a lock.
He's a lock? This to put the Cowboys in front with a minute to go. Oh, he's pushed it right. He's missed it. Oh, we might be headed to more extra time there. Golden point. So 18 all it remains at Brookvale with about a minute to go. Okay, here it's Brisbane by 57 at halftime. More from the Gabba and that score from Brookvale after the ABC News.
Hello, this is ABC News with David Rowlands. The renewed fighting in the Middle East appears to be reaching new levels of intensity, with the US and Iran both claiming to have inflicted damage in latest strikes against the other side. Larry Buttrose has more.
US Central Command says its forces have completed a third round of strikes in recent days against Iran. They say they've hit around 140 targets, including missile and drone sites, naval capabilities, communication networks and coastal surveillance locations. Meanwhile, Iran's Revolutionary Guards say they've targeted a US airbase in Qatar with ballistic missiles, destroying a fighter jet maintenance centre and a command and control facility. They also say they've hit a command and control centre and drone hangars at an airbase used by the US in Jordan. The Guards further say they've struck and disabled another commercial ship in the Strait of Hormuz after a previous ship hit, caught fire and had to be abandoned.
A vigil has been held in the grief-stricken community of the Western Victorian town of Donald for 13-year-old girl Layla Jeffrey. The teenager was last seen in Donald on July the 4th, and she was reported missing the next day by a family member. On Thursday, a search of bushland recovered human remains believed to be of the missing girl. Today, an intimate vigil was held in Layla Jeffrey's memory, attended by members of the tight-knit regional community. A 16-year-old boy was charged yesterday over her alleged murder and has been remanded in custody. The family of a young Toowoomba mother in Queensland who went missing early this week say they're devastated to learn her body has been found. Police say human remains, believed to be those of 30-year-old Yana Armstrong, were uncovered in bushland off Esk Road at Redbank Creek last night. Ms Armstrong's former partner, 48-year-old Damanda Singh, has been charged with her murder and will face court tomorrow. Hannah Swedman says Ms Armstrong's family are relieved to finally have some answers.
Just knowing we can bring her home
yes.
is absolute closure. But I mean, you know, now we just have to hope that the justice system takes its course.
A teenage boy has been winched to safety near Newcastle in New South Wales after falling 5 metres from a walking trail. A New South Wales ambulance spokesperson has confirmed the 14-year-old was treated for lower leg injuries after falling down a small cliff at Dudley. He was flown to Newcastle's John Hunter Hospital in a stable condition. A man who filmed inside the shipping container where Desi Freeman had been living before he was shot dead has been charged with trespass. Ashley Aldridge has the story.
Victoria Police say the 43-year-old Yay man was charged by Wodonga Crime Investigation Unit detectives with 1 count of trespassing. It's alleged the man went on to a property on the Murray River Road at Tholagolong on April 16, about 3 weeks after Freeman was fatally shot by police. He later published video filmed inside the shipping container where Freeman had been living, as well as elsewhere on the property. In a video online, the man said he handed himself in to police after learning they were looking for him. He says he has since been charged. Police say the man is due to appear at the Wodonga Magistrates Court in October.
Australia's biggest Japanese pop culture convention has been held in Sydney this weekend. More than 50,000 people are expected through the doors by the time it finishes at the International Convention Centre for Smash, the Sydney manga and anime show. Sharina Yeung is part of the not-for-profit team that runs the 2-day event and says it's a place where fans can show off their outfits and make new friends.
People can come in dressed up in their favourite character. They don't have to be perfect. All levels are welcome. You'll see people who have the most elaborate and intricate prop or costume, but then you have those who've just bought it from eBay because they just want to try it out, and they all have fun regardless.
The condition of a young footballer seriously injured in a local Australian Rules League match in Western Victoria yesterday has improved overnight. Yvette Gray reports.
The Horsham Saints player received a knock to the back of his head during a tackle in the under-17s match against Southern Mallee Thunder at Sir Robert Menzies Park in Jeparit yesterday afternoon. The ABC understands volunteers, off-duty doctors and members from both clubs assisted the 16-year-old boy who was suffering from concussion until paramedics arrived. Ambulance Victoria says the teenager was then flown to the Royal Melbourne Hospital in a serious condition. He's now listed as stable. Horsham Saints football netball president Sally Ison says the boy is now alert and has full feeling back. The Wimmera Football Netball League says it's offering support to both clubs.
I'm Maureen McGillicuddy.
And I'm Edith Vale.
And we host Another Cuppa.
Will we natter away with some of Australia's biggest names?
Pop the kettle on with Granny Bingo.
Woke garbage.
Exactly.
Search Another Cuppa podcast on ABC Listen.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Will Ashcroft marks, kicks to centre half forward for his brother. Marks on 48, weaves away from Essendon's flimsy attempts to stop him and kicks another Brisbane goal. How do they do that so easily at half forward? That's disgraceful from the Bombers. And Levi says thank you, kicks to half forward. Dunkley's got a paddock 60 from goal, marks and slots it to McKenna. 35 out. He sinks his right foot into it, and that will be a sweet, sweet goal for Connor McKenna of Brisbane against his old mob. Pumps the Premiers back into attack, and a big pack and Loman marks. Just read the flight the best. A clean clunk from Kai. He'll have a shot from 35. The right foot drop punt. Third goal of the afternoon for Kai Loman. And Brisbane now lead by 52 points. An 8th goal for the Lions.
To Sharp, surrounded. Now he plays on to the right of the mark, puts it to a one-on-one, and there you go. When you put it to a one-on-one to your forwards' advantage, they might take the bloody mark. Peter Wright, though, can the Bombers get their first goal of the game? He leans on it and squeezes it through. First goal of the game for the Bombers, and it arrives at the 24-minute mark of the second quarter. Sweeps a handball forward to Zorko, having a field day, kicks it inside 50. Zach Bailey got away from his opponent. That pass sublime. The Zach Bailey on the halftime siren will have a shot at goal. 23 goals, 14 for the year. He gets this one straight through the middle. Without a doubt, extends the lead for the Lions on the stroke of halftime.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
The twilight has become a Sunday evening at the Gabba, and Brisbane comfortably in front of Essendon as you rejoin us for the last part of this round 18. Quentin Hull and the team, and we've seen a domination from the Premiers in the first half of this one. If you are just joining us, well, what have you missed? Brisbane doing as they please pretty much. The Bombers didn't kick a goal in the first quarter. Brisbane kicked 5, and the Lions led by 33 points at quarter time, and Brisbane kicked 4-1 in that second quarter, and now lead the game by 57 points at 9 goals 10-60 to Essendon's 1-6-12. Now, just before the news, we talked about Jake Clifford missing a penalty, a conversion attempt for North Queensland to beat Manly. There was a late try in that game. 18 all went to Golden Point, but Scott Drinkwater has kicked a field goal. So the Cowboys have won that game, 19-18. So the Cowboys join Souths as winners on the day. And we've got Melbourne and Gold Coast to come. Meanwhile, in the AFL, 6 goals for Jacob Van Rooyen as Melbourne flogged Richmond by 46 points. That recently completed game at the MCG. Demons 16-15, 111 to Richmond's 9-11-65. And it was Aaron Norton's bag of 5 that helped the Bulldogs overcome a tardy start against West Coast. And the Doggies won by 16 points at Docklands. 13-8, 86 to 9-16, 70.
With a name like that, though, Q, surely Drinkwater's it's got to be sponsored by Powerade or something. It just goes without saying. He doesn't even have to sell himself. It's a great name.
Jason, you like that?
Sports drink.
Sports drink.
Well, no, you don't need
Hydrolyte.
it. No, you don't need sports drink. You just drink water.
I mean, who comes up with these names?
Coming from a bloke named Ackermanis.
Yeah, well, I didn't come up with it. Drinkwater. What's your name? Drinkwater. That's great. It makes no sense. Where are these names?
You know where you're going? That started to sound like that scene in Dude, Where's My Car, where they would describe each other's tattoos on their backs.
Sweet. Dude.
Righto.
Drink wine. What?
That's a better one.
So
that's way better.
There are a couple of ways to look at this. Obviously, the Bombers are going to try and play some better footy. Yet, you're Chris Fagan. You don't want to let your mob get cocky. Yet at the same time, we're watching the live ladder and knowing that we're getting to the pointy end now, and you can almost start to form the narrative that percentage could be the difference between double chance and not. So how do you deal with it?
Oh, I think this club's been around long enough and been the best team in the business the last 3 years, so they would understand that that's out there somewhere. But I'm sure they would have spoken about it, all their key stats that are looking really good. They've got some important things to do. We spoke off air just before at halftime. You know, they've got to get minutes into Zorko, who's been out for some time, and McCluggage has been out for some time. So they just reinforced the way they're playing. And if you look at what Essendon can't do today, they haven't been able to transition the ball because their forward pressure and their midfielders have been great, Brisbane, so reinforce that. That's their number one game plan. They're a territory team, and then they bring great heat here, so they're doing that really well. Their backs are winning most of the contests, so it'd just be focusing on some key stats, and let's just don't flirt with form. It's getting too close to the end of the year. Don't flirt with form. Keep playing your role, keep doing what we've asked you to do in the first half, and go along with that. But there's no doubt there's a bit of the background noise of percentage and all those sorts of things will be floating through, but try and get a really easy kill. You imagine the first 5 or 6 minutes they put the foot down here and kick straight, Acker. It could be in trouble for the Bombers. And the Bombers, Solly's probably just showing them, hey, glimpses of what they've done in the first half, and try and do that for a little bit longer. It would have been a pretty hard sell at half time for them.
They've got no structure really in front of the ball, and that's where they're breaking down. And then there's a couple of kicks that they can start to get a little bit better. They have got ball winners, and they are supposed to be playing one-on-one. It's an indictment when I say that I actually saw more entertainment in the Oz kick that was down in front of us. I saw 4 Falcons, a couple of goals that a couple of these guys couldn't kick. It was amazingly entertaining. So with Essendon, if you're an Essendon fan, give them some hope. You've got some talent. Why don't you show it off, win the ball? They look really good, like Manny said just before half-time. That 5-minute stretch that they really did just dominate possession, and they got some shots on goals, Pricey.
Well, we talked about the tackles at half-time just while the news was going on, and 26-20. So Essendon had 26 tackles, the Lions had 20, but the Lions had 11 of their tackles inside their own forward 50.
They do love that.
And the Bombers had how many, Matt? 16 in the Lions' 4. Oh, dear. So, look, there's some numbers there that do paint a picture for Essendon, but it's not pretty at the moment. We're back into the middle of the Gabba, and we'll call that a draw between Draper and Bryan at the base of the pack. It's Josh Dunkley who gets helped up there by Darcy Parish. That was nice sportsmanship. We'll do it all again. Draper grabbed it out of the ruck. It was smothered, picked up by Zorko. 24th disposal. Gets inside 50. But it's this bloke who's been probably one of the picks of the defenders in Harrison Jones. His extracting kick was cut off, though. Oh, McKenna, central ball around the body. You wouldn't expect anything different from an Irishman who's at the top of his game in the Australian rules football.
They had Logan Morris just behind that. I actually think he was going for him. But Eric, it'd be nice to see Eric. That was a nice pass, don't get me wrong, unintended for him, I'd say. But him to go back and kick one, because he has, and before he got injured, was one of the worst players I've ever seen in front of goals.
Oh, and he honoured you with a celebration and a grand final, Acker.
Oh, yeah, that was ridiculous. That was actually a good goal.
Eric Hipwood now. From 30, slight angle to the right, gets onto the left foot and absolutely drills it. And he gives the arrow for Jai July as well. Cross codes, honouring Jai Arrow, a young man who's succumbed to MND, but just still fighting. And it's magnificent that both codes can get around that as well. Extends the lead for the Lions, 10-10-70 to 1-6-12. It is a game-high 58-point margin, a minute and a half into the third quarter.
They're the things that will be driving Solly crazy. I think Jones did a really good intercept mark, and then just an easy exit kick and kicked it back inside on Brisbane's head, and there's a shot on goal 5 seconds later. It just should have been executed. Intercept mark, go forward, see if we can go an inside 50 out of that, but just a simple turnover bites them on the backside for a goal against.
They look void of confidence, which you would think would be staggering at this level, but unfortunately losing is just as much a habit as winning.
Well, Bryan wins that tap in the middle for Essendon. Doesn't have a rover, though. Dunkley kicks it off the ground into the chop. Bailey picks up, hands to Draper, and the big fella gallops to half forward. Long kick to full forward for Brisbane, and it's marked on the goal line by Logan Morris. Oh, Draper, every time he gets it, there's a wince from Essendon supporters.
Yeah, the whiplash looking around there.
And look at the way that he was flying away there.
Mullet was going. This kid, he deserves a go. He's been working hard all night. Logan Morris.
Hard in the left forward pocket. I think the snap kick's okay from here, Jace.
Yes,
you approve?
That's fine.
Yes, opens up the right foot snap and bangs it through. 2 quick goals for Brisbane to start the second half. And they're out by 10 goals plus already. 64 is the margin as Logan Morris kicks that's his first of the night.
Yes, which is strange.
First goal of the night for Logan Morris. Brisbane 11-10-76, Essendon 1-6-12.
What did he kick last week? 5? Was it 5 last week or was 3? 3 last week.
It was Kai Lohman got the bag last week.
Yep. That said, worrying signs. Can you just to get out of the centre, Matty? Would be nice just to get their hands on the ball. Give them something. 6-6-6 in front of the ball. Nothing is working for them.
Yeah, their forwards are getting cold down there, Aka.
Lucky it's warm. We hate to be playing in Tassie right now. That'll be frostbite.
So we're back into the middle of the Gabba. Brian v. Draper. Draper got it down, well done by Roby. Exploded onto it and hooked it around the body. It skids through traffic. Merritt gathered it around the ankles. Nice handball back to Caddy. Caddy has a snap and misses to the left. 1 behind, 76 plays 13. It's back to a 63-point margin. The Lions lead early doors third term.
Zorko straight down the corridor to Ainsworth. Centre half back, 50 out. Marks, hands to Rayner. Rayner kicks the corridor. At the feet of Hipwood. Couldn't mark. Jones all over him. Hipwood, though, hands it out to Levi Ashcroft. He's tackled, though. Good pressure from Caldwell there to lock it up with Dersma. And we'll see a ball up edge of the centre square. Just slightly forward of halfway for Essendon. Ruck arrived. Brian got the tap. It's stolen by Rayner of Brisbane. Hands to McCluggage. Back to Rayner. Through the congestion, they find a way. Rayner hands it clear to the wing. Levi Ashcroft, bronze, locks it first to meet it. He kicks to half forward. Bounces in front of Cameron and away from him. And Charlie couldn't reel that one in as it's over the line for a boundary throw in inside the arc.
They were strong inside then. Rayner just don't argue. Muscled his way. Got it to the outside so quick.
He's so strong. We love the crowd and his fans love when he does this.
Throw in across the arc of 50. That drop short, Acker. Draper got the hands down. Rayner. His handball cut off there. Well done by Perkins. And his handball forward missed the target in Caldwell. Getting there was Ainsworth. Caldwell tackled him, but Ainsworth struggled and got free. Kicked it inside 50. Nicely tapped away. Logan Morris. Handball McCluggage. Bailey confronted. Oh, in traffic, he put it a floater across the face of goal. Hipwood, it wasn't the required distance. Hipwood goes across the face, and I mean across the face. 20 metres away, gathered by Logan Morris. His central ball went through the hands. Keystone Cop stuff here. It's picked up by Rayner, gave the don't argue. Handball back to Draper. Emboldened, the big fella, the outside of the right boot. If you don't mind,
yes.
The big unit went through traffic. Put on the afterburners, mullet flowing, outside of the right boot from 40. That is a ruckman's dream. A goal for Brisbane. They're 12-10-82 to 1-7-13. It is a 69-point margin. We played 6 minutes of the third quarter. Matty Primus, talk us through that one from a ruckman's perspective.
Well, what about the build? I reckon they had 18 possessions in Brisbane. Just golf, a lot of ping pong, wasn't it? One side or the other, and the big fella just, as soon as he won that, he was not going to pass it off at all. Used his great speed.
Well, what do we expect from a guy that's won goal of the year previously?
Exactly.
Imagine Essendon supporters watching that. They're getting absolutely flogged. And a guy in his first year at his new club says, here you go.
Yep,
this is what you're missing.
Don't argue. Instant.
He's happy about what he's missing.
Zano?
I can tell you what the supporters are saying, Q. I've got a couple near me, and their words I can't repeat on radio.
Okay.
There we go.
Brisbane come through the stoppage. Draper's at a bounce. Kicks a mongrel inside 50. Cameron gathers, gets tackled. Got his boot to it, but couldn't get it on goal. That was good. A defensive pressure there from the Bombers to stop another one. Oh, but their exit's turned over. Leicester meets it on 50 for Brisbane. Hands to Levi Ashcroft. Kicks it to the pocket. And Eric Hipwood takes the mark. Hard in the boundary. 30 metres out, but the preferred side for the left-footed Eric Hipwood.
What about the bounce, the big man?
Yeah. He's up and going now.
He's confident.
He's up and going now.
As he takes a rest too. Very noisy over there. Cacophony of cheers.
Hipwood from Acker's pocket. 3 steps infield, left foot, struck beautifully. Beautifully. And Hipwood's got a couple. And this is entering massacre territory. And we're 7 minutes into the third quarter. 13 goals, plays 1. 13-10 to be precise. 13-10, 88 to 1-7, 13.
That's some strike.
That's 4 goals in the opening 7.5 minutes of the third quarter for Brisbane.
There's not much you can say, except if you're a Brisbane fan, you should be enjoying this. You got Ruckman taking a bounce, kicking goals at the outside of the foot, and Eric Hipwood finding some form, kicking some goals from places that you couldn't buy a goal back in before he got injured.
And Crows fans not liking this either, because I'll head to the live percentage, Matt. I reckon they might adjust.
16.6.
Yeah, they're chasing them down.
Yep.
They're chasing them down.
By the second.
75 points the margin. Back into the middle. And the Lions crowd getting very vocal, as you would expect here at the Gabba. Bombers try to extract it. It was Kando Giannis who tried to get through and couldn't.
Hondo, yes.
And it's to the left of the centre circles. Umpire will ball it up yet again. Fort beats Bryant for it. McCluggage couldn't pick it up. Merritt could for the Bombers. He was smothered by Fort. Durham gathered, spun out of the trouble, dribbles one inside 50. Now Caddy's got a metre or so on Gallup. He gathered, but then Gallup gathered him. Took him over the boundary line, and a throw-in ensues in the left forward pocket for the Bombers.
If anything, we want more of those two in open field. Two young talents. Caddy versus Gallup.
Foot race.
Boundary throw in Essendon in attack. Fort taps down. Taken by Sharp of Essendon, though. Hands it to Merritt. Quick snap on goal. Gallup decides to punch it clear of the goal mouth. Rolls to the boundary and out of play in front of Peter Wright. And the umpire says throw it in.
Yeah, it's 10 goal kickers Brisbane have had. That's a good sign when you're so far up. The ball's getting shared around. Everyone's getting a bite of the cherry.
Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Matt Primus and Jason Ackermanis, your experts at the Gabba. Bombers in attack with this throwing. Fort beats Bryant. Rode by Dunkley of Brisbane. Shunts it forward of the congestion. To no great avail. It comes back to him, Dunkley. Picks up again. Hands it to McCluggage. Hands to Reville. Hands to Fletcher. Now they clear. Fletcher's kick from defensive 50 to the wing. Morris brings it to deck, hoping for Lohmann to robe. He's pushed off it, though. Picked up by Reid of Essendon. His hand pass, though, as a last disposal. Free kicked against. He's missed his target, Reid, with that handball. And it's a free kick to Fletcher at left half back for Brisbane.
You can hardly say this is AFL standard at the moment from Essendon.
Long kick from Jasper Fletcher beyond centre wing. Good mark taken by Hipwood, growing with confidence. His pass towards Lohmann went through the hands of Farrow. Lohmann gathered, though. Handball to Levi Ashcroft on the boundary. Centering ball. And so a whistle on play. I think this free kick's going to go against Charlie Cameron. It will go to Dersma, just beside the goal square. Now he's kicked it towards a one-on-one. Merritt v. Ryan Lester, who went back with one arm and juggled it on the arc, put it to Bruce Reville, central ball from Reville.
Umpire's down.
And Zach Merritt got him.
Well,
Zach Merritt got the... He'll be in trouble for umpire.
No, he didn't. He just slipped over.
He was near him and the umpire just slipped over.
He slipped on the arc of 50. That paint.
Don't they wear boots?
Anyway, Josh Dunkley was the recipient of that ball.
What, you never slipped over wearing boots, Jason?
I did, but I'm not an umpire, and spindly arms like these blokes can't even throw it in.
Roby stands the mark, 45 from goal. It's a 45-degree angle to the right for Josh Dunkley, not a noted goal kicker. He gets to the paint. And just to make you sound like an idiot. Bangs it straight over the goal umpire's hat. His dad would love that. I don't think he ever dreamed on that straight, did he? 14-10-94, plays 1-7-13. It is a game-high 81-point margin, 12 gone, third term.
Yeah, 11th goal kicker. Just a beautiful kick. But once again, just their inability to exit the ball to an uncontested. So out to advantage. Everything's contest, and Brizzy just biting everything off.
We're only 12 minutes into the third quarter, but let's put this on the table. Brisbane's biggest ever win over Essendon was only 11 goals at Docklands in round 12 of 2004. So they're already basically 12 goals in,
81 points.
13 goals in front here. Yeah, so 66 points is the Lions' biggest win over Essendon. Might be broken today.
That's 117%, Brisbane's percentage.
Centre stoppage. Will Ashcroft gets high contact from Durham. Free kick. Will Ashcroft, he hands it to Wilmot in his 100th game. Darcy Wilmot, long kick again. Brisbane in attack. Morris front of the pack, couldn't mark Jones Robes, but is immediately tackled by Rayner of Brisbane, and Harry Jones picks himself up and chucks the ball to the ump, who says ball up. Fort with the tap for Brisbane. McGrath comes through, can't pick up, and then Farrow plays tackler on Lohman to keep it locked in. We'll do it again. And the Gabba faithful starting to make their own fun. Trying to get the wave going. Oh, Fort, his rove off the boundary, the ruck win was smothered. Now, Roby, hand passes to Durham. Durham to Sharp. Sharp to Dersma in the middle, slipped over, got tackled, got rid of it just in time to Farrow. Farrow's hand pass, though, turned over. Swooped on by Rayner of Brisbane, 60 from goal. Gave the Dunkley lightning hand pass to Will Ashcroft. There was a free kick, play onto advantage. Ashcroft hits Lohman, 40 from goal.
Too easy. It's even the space, Matty Primus, we were talking about before. There was a sequence just before we had that 20 kicks inside there where Suitcase has got 20 metres free. How can a guy be 20 metres free, 10 metres out from goal? And that's no better. There should be a defender right on his hammer, but no.
So 36 goals last in 2024, Kai Lohman, after his sort of off year last year. Lohman for 4 tonight. He's missed that to the right. It's a point. 14-11-95 to 1-7-13. Yeah, so he's up to what? 32 for the year, which beats last year's 20, and he's 36 in 2024 as his high watermark.
So brought back in by the Bombers. The kick went way too far. It actually beat Blackiston. Nobody touched it. It went over the boundary line. So it's going to be a last disposal free kick. It'll go to Brisbane. Just short of left half forward. In fact, in front of the Lions benches on the Stanley Street side, Darcy Fort lays the big slipper into it. Big pack of players. Front and square was Dunkley. Handball backwards to Rayner. Rayner from the arc. Kicks it to the goal square and well taken there in front. No, he dropped it. It was Perkins. And they still have it there. Do the Bombers. Jackson Pryor gets it out just short of centre wing. It's going to be a free kick and will go to Brisbane. Harris Andrews? No, it was Darcy Fort. I couldn't tell either, Matty Primus. Fort got it towards the arc and right at left half forward, Lockie Neal. Now, the man standing the mark is on the paint.
No chance from there, Lockie.
I was about to say his little legs.
But it's been just great pressure.
Oh, come on. I reckon he'll kick this.
Yeah, he's gone back. He's going off the long run. His backside's on the fence, peels to the right of the mark, and then skies one towards the top of the square. And getting there, and boy, he meant that, Archie Perkins, after dropping that other easy mark. Got to the front of the pack, hugs it to his chest. Nice defensive work.
And that there is their second effective kick for this quarter. So Brisbane's pressure, and that's their third, but Brisbane's pressure has been outstanding. So they're a team on a mission tonight.
Matt Primus with you on ABC Sport. Dersma, latest man to see that kick in chain. He's on half back. Kicks it to a contest on the wing. No contest. Ty Gallop takes a great mark in the pack. This boy can play. Kicks infield. Marked on the edge of the square by Neal, coming up for touch 24, which is a hand pass to Answorth in the bullseye. Drives Brisbane back into attack, and a one-handed mark to Logan Morris. Doing the old plugger. He held the defence off with one side of his body and clutched it to his pack with the other. T. Lockett, eat your heart out.
What a great grab. Left side of your body too.
Oh, remember that Dunstall could do it. G. Ablett Sr. could do it. We saw about 6 of those a weekend in the 80s and 90s, but we don't see many of them now.
Well, they are.
Lynchy's getting jealous down on the boundary. That's what he used to do.
50 kilos heavier than what Logan would be, but that is some mark.
Oh, Logan Morris. I enjoyed that. If you could, yeah.
Hasn't been
Can he kick the goal? 40 out, straight in front. No, is the answer. He's stuffed it. After taking a great mark, he's missed his cue. 14-12, 96 to 1-7-13.
Yeah, 1 goal 3 to Logan Morris.
He could have had a fill-up, couldn't he?
50.
So far. Yep. Essendon get a free kick for 50. Eric Hipwood didn't stand. So it's going to come back out now. Again, Archie Roberts. It's a long kick towards the 50. Harris Andrews goes up with the 1 mitt, gets the ball down. It's well roved there, but Day Wicks was immediately claimed there by Answorth. So umpire will throw it up on the arc of 50. Draper, when it dropped to his feet, he just put the big slipper in and it dribbles up to the centre circles. Then Connor McKenna off the ground as well. It bounces towards the paint of 50. Gathered, nicely gathered, in fact, by Reid, but in turn beautifully tackled by Logan Morris. 55 out from goal at right half forward for Brisbane. They're leading by 83 points. This time, off the hands of the ruckman, Durham has it and sprays it towards right half back, and Perkins gets back there for the Bombers.
Picks up and has a bit of space to run along the edge of the centre square. Kicks it to Sharp, marks on halfway and plays on. Dyson Sharp for Essendon, kicks very wide, but Kako's there to mark just before the boundary. 52 metres from goal at right half forward. So he needed to mark it, or it would have been last disposal against his inbound kick. Andrews has got 2 against him. Free kick or no mark anyway. Zorko picks up. Kicks it beyond defensive 50 for Hipwood. And Hipwood's got it for Brisbane on the left half-back flank. Lines by 83, having led by 33 at quarter time and 52 at half-time. Hipwood with a high kick to the middle of the ground. Caddy spoils Rayner. Roved there by Farrow, got rid of a tackler just to hand to Roby. Roby hands to Daywicks. Daywicks to Caddy. Weaves a path on 60. Kicks the Bombers into attack over the head of right. And Andrews, it's rolling. But Harris gets there before it goes through for an unlikely goal. It's a rushed point. Essendon won 8-14. Trail Brisbane's 14-12-96.
Yeah, they might struggle to score the ball. I think they're throwing Caddy behind the ball or up around the ball probably to give the young kid a run and get his hands on the footy, because he hasn't touched it. But they're going to struggle with both Harris Andrews and the young key defender down there just mopping everything up.
The Lions have rumbled it up to halfway.
I think the lights have gone out on that far side there.
Back in towards the centre circles. Rayner, his handball speculates to Bruce Reville. Weaves his way out of traffic and punts it towards half forward. Picked up there by McKenna on the boundary line. Got it centrally. I don't know whether he was trying to pass it or have a shot, but it went across, went through for a behind. 97 plays 14, back to an 83-point margin. Zane Bojack on the boundary.
Yeah, the LCD lights right above you guys, above the commentary boxes, have gone of about a third of that stand where you guys are. Also, Darcy Fort's just had his ankle strapped. I don't know whether they need to persist with him, but he's taken some medicine, some painkillers, and I expect him to come back out, but I don't know whether you take the risk.
Magic sponge. Well, you should take the risk if he wants to play. It's up to the player, but yes, good point there.
So still good enough to play, but we're not under full wattage at the moment, for lack of better description. Bailey comes through the stoppage for Brisbane, got a hand pass away, and then a holding the ball free kick goes Essendon's way. Cameron was the recipient and immediately tackled by Roby, but the umpire said there was a prior. So young Sully Roby gets the free kick for the Bombers. He kicks it back to full back. Pryor marks and transfers to Reid. Reid at left half back for Essendon, plays on with a kick to the wing where Perkins takes an uncontested chest mark. Runs infield for Essendon, decides to kick long and up and under, a hoper to half forward. Right, the target, 3 against him. Kako roves, though, for the Bombers. Shunts it to Day Wicks. He loses the ball, and it's Brisbane's again as the co-captains combine. Neil to Andrews, back to Neil by hand. He gives it to Will Ashcroft, who kicks to the wing.
That was beautiful under pressure. That was a 50-metre pass to Zorko. Got rid of the man on the mark and kicked it behind Zach Bailey, who slipped over, landed on his backside. Roby picked it up for the Bombers. There must be that slippery pocket. The Jew must be here because Jackson Pryor slipped over. Picked up by Lohman. Kicks it towards the goal square and a good contest. No, there's been a whistle on play. It's going to be a free kick and it'll go to Logan Morris.
Didn't have to do that.
Just got a block on him. He knew the man was coming across the intercept and just panicked a bit, didn't he, Aka?
Yeah, he shoved him, and one umpire didn't see it, but the other one did, who was in the Aka pocket down there. Logan Morris, can he go back and just nail one? That said, it is all happening here. You got the Luxor down. You can't even be, you can still see it. See the ground quite comfortably. But anyway, let's see if the big fella kicks one straight.
Logan Morris comes in from 30 and drills the goal. Perfect timing to welcome our listeners from the MCG as Logan Morris gets his second goal on the board and takes the Brisbane Lions out to a game-high 89-point margin. Yes, you heard that right, 89 points, 22 minutes gone in the third term. It's Brisbane 15-13, 103. The Bombers 1-8-14.
He's Michael Price. I'm Quentin Hull. Jason Ackermanis and Matt Primus are watching with Zane Bojack on the boundary. What have you missed? Well, the story's going as expected, but even worse from a Bombers perspective. Brisbane by 33 points at quarter time, 52 at half time. And that goal from Morris now makes it 6 unanswered goals in the third quarter for Brisbane. Morris has got 2, Lohman's got 3, Eric Hipwood's got 2. Peter Wright's the only goal kicker for Essendon, and it looks every bit of two-time reigning champs versus last. As Will Ashcroft gets the Sierra clearance kick inside 50 for Brisbane, almost a chance. But Pryor does the roving, hands it off to McGrath, gets the Bombers out of trouble. Kicks it out to the wing where Sharp takes the grab for the Bombers. Yeah, it's been everything that the scoreboard says it is here at the Gabba. And if you're just joining us, as Sharp's kick is intercepted by Draper, who, by the way, the big Brisbane ruckman, kicked a great goal earlier and is just rubbing it into Bombers fans by the way that he's playing against his old lot. Draper from left half back kicks the Lions back to the wing through the hands of Zorko on return. He's looked pretty good. He's ranking up the possessions. This one, though, mopped up by McCluggage on return too. Hands to Reville. He's tackled by 2 Bombers and holding the ball had Pryor, and first grappler there was... Who was it they're going to give it to?
Is it?
That's Kondogiannis.
Kondogiannis.
He's got a defensive side of the wing.
Great Condor.
Launches one long down the line. Actually went over the top of the pack. Chance for the Bombers. Dunkley got there first for Brisbane, though. Picked up by McGrath, and he kicks it long towards forward 50. How did Day Wicks do that? He got in front of Ryan Lester and took a mark around his shins, let's say. 45 out, 45-degree angle to the right.
Sounds like a movie star with a name like that, but he actually was coming in. There was someone else coming the other way.
Yeah.
I think that's what fooled them all.
Just sort of provided a block.
It's a fallacy, that block.
So it's Archer, Day Wicks. 6 goals, 6 for the year. The number 6 draft pick back in 2024. Gets across the paint of 50 and pulls it violently to the right. It just goes through for a behind. 103 plays 15. 88 points the margin as the Lions bring it back in quickly through Zorko.
Oh, beautiful kick beyond defensive 50. Lester marks uncontested at right half back.
He finds his brother-in-law a lot, doesn't he?
Lester kicks it. Turnover. Tried to go to the bullseye. Caldwell gets in the way and marks for Essendon. Right in the middle of the Gabba.
Can't go quick. Lots of numbers back.
So Caldwell kicks wide to the right half forward flank. He's got a man in space, though. It's Perkins who marks. Hand passes. Oh, it misses Dersma, who picks up near the boundary. Dersma, he makes good of it. Dersma kicks to the teeth of goal. Berry in the way, though. He was hoping for Clark, was the kick of Dersma, but Jared Berry intercepts at fullback for Brisbane. And now calmly runs off his mark. Slots the ball to a one-on-one. Cameron against Roberts. Roberts does enough to score, but Brisbane has the number. Lohman hands it to Cameron. Good chase from Roberts, tackled him and holding the ball. Free kick to Archie Roberts, true centre wing, with Brisbane leading by 88 points.
Little 45-degree kick finds Merritt, goes past for the handball receive and then kicks it straight down the throat of Jared Berry. At half back, it was touched off hand, so he got told to play on Berry. Kicks it in the path of Hipwood, who wore one around the ear hole as well, but took a nice one grabber. Turned onto the left foot, kicks it to a 2-on-1. Lohman at ground level. Oh, he handballed it to Will Ashcroft, who had a flying kick off the deck. World Cup style, but touched on the line. Going back there, Clark did well, rushed it through. So 104 plays 15, back to 89 points the margin in favour of Brisbane.
And for those just joining, Matt, oh dear. Pryor's kicked the ball out of bounds on the full from the restart. Or did it pitch?
He just missed it.
It just missed it. I've sort of said it's sort of everything we expected. Matt, do you want to explain to our listeners that haven't been across this game what's happened?
Well, it's just been a domination every time they go inside 50. Their firepower and their lack of pressure by Essendon has allowed Brisbane's forwards to do what they want inside their forward 50, and this quarter especially, 6 goals, 3 to 1 point.
From the stoppage, Wilmot on attacking 50. Under pressure, hands to McCluggage. He's tackled, but hands it to Levi Ashcroft. Rush kick to full forward. Lohman has a one-handed grab, couldn't. Coming through for the Bombers is Reid. His hand pass, though, doesn't create much. And Parrish applies a tackle to lock it up there. Oh, no, it's a free kick.
Put him high.
Free kick to Levi Ashcroft.
It's an Aaron handball too.
So, Acker, anything to add?
Yes, plenty to add.
What have they missed, those that have...
If you're an Essendon fan, you've missed watching a side that should be in the ovens of Murray right now, because they've got no structure. They've got a couple of good players doing a couple of good things. I don't know where they're going. Are they having numbers behind the ball? Are they one-on-one? Who knows? They just look like a team that's uncoachable at the moment.
So, Levi went behind his brother early. Will kicked one to go to 8. Levi kicked one to go to 8. Now this for the family battle of who's got more goals. Yes, it's now Levi again. He's got 2. That's a good set shot from 40. So that's that family battle if you missed it. They both came into the game, the Ashcroft brothers, with 7 goals, 11 for the year. Will got 1, then Levi got 1 back, so they were level. And now Levi's got 2, and he leads that family duel as the margin blows to 95. And Adelaide Crows fans, yes, for the time being, that shuts you guys out of the top 4 on that live ladder. Brisbane's percentage is now, well, getting closer to 118. They needed to get to 117 or better to get back into the top 4 after the Crows dined out against the Suns last night.
We did say that before the game, didn't we?
We absolutely. It's just 81% of the time's been in Brisbane's forward half this quarter. It's just far too many for any defensive team, and hence why it's 7 goals, 3 to 2 points, and a few more to come probably.
So back into the middle, we'll call it a draw. It dropped to the feet of the ruckman, and peeling himself off is Caldwell and also McCluggage, the 2 number 6s. Caldwell goes back in for the Bombers at ground level, flick the handball out, gets to Roberts, he puts it out here onto the centre wing. It's taken there by Perkins to left half forward. It was spoiled there, Blackiston. Well done, Jared Berry. Handball forward there to Jasper Fletcher, who overcooked the kick, went over the head of Zorko. Well done by Perkins, who got it back inboard there. It came to Angus Clark. He gave it to Caldwell. Now they're into the corridor. Taking off now, Redman. Redman inside 50 and dropping back at the top of the goal square. Darcy Fort just gave Caddy no chance. Took a defensive mark and fled it to the left of Bruce Reville.
3-on-1.
Yeah.
Reville at left half back. Marks and kicks short to Fletcher. Fletcher, 25-metre kick upfield to Wilmot, unmarked. And that's three-quarter time. A dominant third term from the Premiers. And Brisbane leads at the last change by 95 points. 16, 14, 110 to 1, 9, 15. Brisbane's biggest win on record against Essendon was 11 goals. And they look well and truly on track to beat that. 66 points at Docklands in round 12 of 2004 stands the margin. Was that Jonathan Brown's comeback game where we went berserk, Acker? I think it may have been. You've just taken your headset off for a sec.
Can I just say that was one of the funniest moments I've ever seen, because he said before the game, it's not like I'm going to come back and have 30 touches and kick 8 goals.
And that's what he did?
That's exactly what he did.
Is it that game? I'm pretty sure it's that game. Goal kickers in a sec. Zane?
Yeah, Logan Morris has had problems with his left ankle. He's come off, he's had it re-strapped, he's putting the boot back on, he's going to try and get back out there. He's been struggling. Darcy Ford, I got in touch with the Lions. They said that it's not actually an ankle problem. He got a cork on the bottom part of his shin. That's why he was having it strapped up. But as you heard, he's back out there again trying to run it out.
Thanks, Zane. So, Brisbane 16 goals.
How do you cork
through 3 for the Lohman. 2 for Morris, 2 for Hipwood, 2 for Levi Ashcroft, and single goals for Will Ashcroft, McKenna, Cameron, Bailey, Draper, Dunkley and McCluggage. Essendon's only goal kicked by Peter Wright at the 24-minute mark of the second term. So it was 33 at quarter time, 52 at half time, and now 95 at three-quarter time. If you want to get in touch, we'd love to hear from you on the SMS 0437 774 774. Those scores from earlier today. 5 for Aaron Norton as the Dogs survived a scare against the Eagles and won by 16 points at Docklands, and that most recently completed game at the MCG, Jacob Van Rooyen kicking 6, as Melbourne won by 46 over Richmond Demons, 16-15, 111 to the Tigers, 9-11-65. South Sydney beat Newcastle 26-24 in the first NRL game of the day. Golden Point win for North Queensland over Manly at Brookvale. Scott Drinkwater with a field goal in added time for the Cowboys to win 19-18. And the game between Melbourne and Gold Coast is the last of the day, and it is underway, being played in Melbourne. It's about 23 minutes old there. You can hear it on ABC Listen on the green button. Storm 6, Titans 6. Here, a flogging in the offing. It's the Lions by 95 points on Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
Don't fight the static. Hear ABC Local Radio crystal clear on the ABC Listen app. Download now.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Oh, McKenna, central ball around the body. You wouldn't expect anything different. Eric Hipwood now from 30, slight angle to the right, gets onto the left foot and absolutely drills it. And he gives the arrow for Jai July as well.
Bailey picks up, hands to Draper, and the big fella gallops to half forward. Long kick to full forward for Brisbane, and it's marked on the goal line by Logan Morris. Hard in the left forward pocket. I think the snap kick's okay from here, Jace.
Yes,
you approve? Yes, opens up the right foot snap and bangs it through. 2 quick goals for Brisbane to start the second half. And they're out by 10 goals plus already.
It's picked up by Rayner. Gave the don't argue. Handball back to Draper. Embolden. The big fella. The outside of the right boot. If you don't mind. Yes. The big unit went through traffic. Put on the afterburners. Mullet flowing. Outside of the right boot from 40. That is a ruckman's dream.
Hands to Levi Ashcroft. Kicks it to the pocket. And Eric Hipwood takes the mark. Hard in the boundary. 3 steps infield, left foot struck beautifully. Beautifully. And Hipwood's got a couple. And this is entering massacre territory.
No, there's been a whistle on play. It's going to be a free kick and it'll go to Logan Morris. Logan Morris comes in from 30 and drills the goal.
Parrish applies a tackle to lock it up there. Oh no, it's a free kick.
Put him high.
Free kick to Levi Ashcroft. Will kicked 1 to go to 8. Levi kicked 1 to go to 8. Now this for the family battle of who's got more goals. Yes, it's now Levi again. He's got 2. That's a good set shot from 40.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
The last gasp of round 18 of the 2026 season. You're hearing it live from the Gabba on ABC Sport. Quentin Hull and the team sifting through this, and I use the word loosely, contest. It's a game of football at least. Brisbane's winning it by 95 points at three-quarter time. The Bombers have kicked 1 goal in the first 3 quarters. Brisbane 16-14, 110. Essendon 1 goal, 9-15. And on the SMS... yes, Andrew from Melbourne, he texts, Sunday night horror movie for the Dons. Indeed. G'day to Razor from Rockingham. It says, what on earth is happening to the Bombers? What can they do? Well, we've been asking Matt and Jason throughout.
Just looked at their...
Kaka and Matty Primus, your experts.
He had no idea, did he, Dean Solomon? We're looking at him on the TV, on the monitor. He's like scratching his head.
Well, Leanne from Essendon has just sent me a broken heart emoji.
Oh.
She texts, I've tuned in after an afternoon of pickleball. How could it get any worse for us diehard Bombers? I'm devastated and heartbroken. I hope you played well at pickleball, Leanne. Thank you. 0437 774 774.
Yeah, there's not much you can do. This team, his spirit is just broken, as everybody has seen over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and they've come up here against a team that's in red-hot form and copping it.
Well, we're back into the middle. Start of the final term. Bailey immediately gets his hand on the ball. Handball back to Darcy Fort. His kick cut off by Redman, who's still inside the centre square. He peels it out towards the commentary wing here. Nicely taken there by Dyson Sharp, as the kick was slightly more than he should have been asked to handle. Anyway, forward to the centre wing. He kicks it inside 50. Slap forward, front and square was Lachie Neale for Brisbane. Skies it towards the arc. Once again, Redmond. He got rid of Connor McKenna, the former Bomber. He's 60 from goal. He's standing inside the centre square. There's a lead on. He tries to honour that, and there's a block, and it was Zorko. Zorko put his annoying little body in Peter Wright's path, and it was quite an obvious block in the end. So Peter Wright, from about the position he kicked the only goal of the game for Essendon just before half-time, he's going to have a ping at his second.
We're right behind it. Can I say, they have done this all night. They haven't even looked like changing. They've just gone long to the big targets. There's nothing to it. Silly, really.
One goal from 26 inside 50 so far. Peter Wright leans back on it, and same result, kicks his second, and the Bombers' second goal. And I reckon that's Brisbane fans applauding that one as well. Just thank God we've got another goal on the board for the opposition. 16-14, 1-10, plays 2-9-21. It is back to that 89-point margin. Very early final turn.
Well, Matt in Canberra texts, hurt is the answer. Simple as that. Michael in Melbourne on the SMS. I reckon get hurty in there as coach ASAP. This footy club has hit rock bottom. Pete in Eton in Western Australia. Woodwork team on the call, having a cold. Good work. Team on the call, having a beverage. Stirring up the fire pit in the late Arvo Sun. Who would take the Bombers coaching job? A true basket case. RIP Bombers. Texts Pete 0437 774 774. Well, the Pete just kicked his second goal. Pete Wright, centre stoppage, Fort tackled by Bryan. And we'll have another reset in the middle. Nick Bryan against Darcy Fort. Fort got a knuckle to that one, but Durham comes through. No, that was Roberts. Got a Perkins, should I say. Get it right third time. Hand pass turned over, though. Reville's got it for the lines in the middle. The Ashcrofts combine. Levi to Will by hand. Will's chip marked by Dunkley in the middle. He kicks it to Zorko running free at half forward. Gathers on the half volley. Palms away from 1 and 2 before getting himself into trouble and turns over the hand pass. Sharp read it. 1-2 hand pass exchange with Durham. Now Sharp with a kick towards half forward, and Peter Wright takes the grab on the lead. 50 from goal.
He's within range too, the big fella.
4 shots on goal today, Aka. They've had 28 inside 50s. He's had 4 shots on goal.
He's
not a bad day for
him and Durham. They've been down his shining lights at the moment. That said, he'll take it 2 metre Peter. He can kick it a mile too. If he gets onto this, it'll go over the fence.
Man on the marks, right on 50. 45-degree angle to the left. Peter Wright for his third, for Essendon's third. He's got the journey, but it's a bit of hook about it. Just missed to the near side. A point. Brisbane by 88 at 110-22. 2-10 now for the Bombers.
Yep, well, two goals, 3 of those are Peter Wright's as well. As Wilmot plays on, kicks it to Fletcher, goes back for the handball received and kicks it straight up the middle. Bailey v Durham. Durham got grabbed high. Free kick. So he's just beside the centre circles. Just on the Stanley Street wing. Handball forward to the former Lion and Jackson Pryor. He launches one straight inside 50. Big fly. Harris Andrews fists it towards the boundary line. Then Darcy Wilmot, almost unattended, belts it over the boundary line. I think, they paid that as insufficient intent. It's going to be a free kick and it'll go to Merritt. Merritt centres the ball and finds McGrath. Slack marking from the Brisbane Lions there.
So you can hit it out of bounds, Pricey, if you're in a marking contest, but that was just someone handball bounced up or something. Anyway,
no,
you can't do.
He didn't have anybody going against him, so he just spoiled it instead of.
Well, you're allowed to spoil it over if you're in a marking contest.
It's one of those quirks of the game. 1 goal for the year to Andrew McGrath. Goes back and puts through his second, and the Bombers get their third. Reducing the margin now back to 82 points. 16-14, 110 the Lions to 3-10-28 the Bombers. We played 5 minutes of the final term.
One of the few. He's just played well for years. A bit like Merritt, McGrath. He's always trying. He's always on tough opponents. He hasn't been in a great team. Great to see him get a goal. He'd be wrapped with that. He's usually down back kicking it to someone else.
Crows fans are cheering. We're a long way from the final ladder being determined, but Brisbane are now exactly 116.9%. along with Adelaide's 116.9%. But on the live ladder, the Crows are back in the top 4.
Well, it's how many rounds to go? Too many. It doesn't matter.
Enough.
Now, I suppose.
Hey, look, Jace, we're dealing with an 82-point margin here. I'm going to find anything that's going to keep me interested
I like it.
for the rest of the call. Centre stoppage. And, well, Dunkley's over Caldwell to ensure he couldn't get clear, and the umpire will come in. Just forward of the bullseye from a Brisbane attacking perspective. Bryan got over Draper. Bailey spiked it. It hit heads. Bounces back to Bryan. Kick semi-smothered. McCluggage will make the best of that mess. Kicks Brisbane into attack, and Charlie Cameron takes the grab. 50 from goal. Plays on immediately. Cameron from 40. Lights up the Gabba again. For just the second John Denver of the night. 17-14, 116 to 310-28.
We had to wait for that too. He was skipped the first one, and then we waited to the fourth quarter. But there'll be a sing-along. They'll be happy with that crowd. This big crowd too. They always come, the Essendon faithful, even when they're going crap like they are now. But we always love those games, Matty Promise. Collingwood and Essendon. Going to be packed, going to be noisy, not tonight.
Not much to cheer about tonight, but what about who was it, McCluggage, the vision out of that stoppage, rather than just blaze away,
got it.
Just go left, kick it off angle. His vision out of that traffic was sublime.
I'll give this to Wade, who texts from Shepparton. Interesting stat. Essendon scored more in the first half tonight than Fremantle did on Thursday night. Was it 10 points?
That's
for the Dockers at half-time? And the Bombers got to like 1-6-12, yeah.
101 after half-time.
11-1 it was.
Oh.
So, there we go, yep. Well, no, they scored the same.
So it's Darcy Wilmot from the back of the pack, kicks it inside 50 for Brisbane, front and square McCluggage, handball Rayner in traffic, slapped out of his hands by Dersma. The umpire said insufficient, illegal disposal, let's put it that way. So it's Farrow who gets the free kick for the Bombers. He immediately goes out to Caddy, who's broken away, but forward of centre wing on the outer side. His little chip kick into Roby, who's had a crack, especially in the first half. He waited for the run of Redmond. Redmond now gets it out to Dersma of 70 from goal at left half forward, and chip forward as well. So they've got it now with Perkins. Perkins now inside 50, looking for Kako, who takes the mark. Yeah. On the boundary line, 35 out, and
just great foot skills, Pricey, wasn't it? They just connected all the way.
But it's so anti what Brisbane were doing, wasn't it?
Absolutely was.
As far as defensive work goes.
I noted that a bit, by the way. It was 11 points to Freo in the first half, and Essendon kicked 1-6. So yeah, they got them by 1 point.
So Kako from the boundary, 40 out. Boy, struck that well. That's a great kick. Fourth goal of the match for the Bombers, and once again they bring it back to an 82-point margin, 17-14, 116 Brisbane to the Bombers, 4-10-34. 8.5 gone, final term, Zane Bojack on the boundary.
I want to ask Matty Primus and Jason Ackermanis, boys, did you ever used to play and train in like the rain without boots? Because Isaac Kako, before play started, he was knocking them from outside 50 through the big sticks with no shoes on.
That is amazing. No, that hurts your foot too much.
That would hurt your foot.
That is way too painful. What kind of was he kicking a normal footy?
He was warming up barefoot and whacking them from 50.
Yeah, it must be torpedoes. That said, what a wonderful goal, and we've been talking about that all night, Matty Promise. That kick in has always been long to a contest. That's finally the kick to a lead.
Uncontested.
Great goal though.
Sunday footy on ABC Sport. It's Brisbane by 82 points at the Gabba. Blackiston in ruck against Draper. Draper got the tap, but Caldwell's got it. He's tackled ferociously by Rayner, holding the ball.
Lucky he dumped him. That would have
a little bit, yeah. Got away with one there, Cam Rayner, I think. Plays on from attacking side of the bullseye. Rayner kicks Brisbane deep. Flying in from the side, Lohman couldn't take the mark. McCluggage drove his kick, smothered by Dersma. Hand pass to Perkins, rushed exit from fullback to half-back. Caldwell's underneath it, nudged off the ball by Rayner, front on contact. Ooh. Free kick to Essendon, advantage taken by Parrish. Kicks from half-back wide to the wing. Right marks, but has no one ahead of him, so has to wait a moment or two before then kicking to a one-on-one between Caddy and Gallup. Caddy nudges Gallup off the drop, gathers on the bounce, snaps from the pocket. Excellent footy from this young forward. Celebrates his extension of his contract with a nice one-on-one win there against Ty Gallup. And Caddy gets his first goal. And the Bombers have kicked 4 goals, 1 to 1 goal in this last quarter. Essendon dominating the final term to this point. Brisbane's lead, though, is 76 at 116 to 40.
I got to see his athleticism then. He ran Gallop. Gallop had him 10 metres goal side. He ran from the wing where we are, way over the other half-forward flank. Probably a 50-metre run, got 10 metres of him, used his body, picked up the ball and kicked the ball across his body with a beautiful finish. Amazing athleticism for a guy who's, 195, 6, 7 centimetres. Just outstanding to see.
I think of that game he played up here last year. It was sensational. Kick goals over his head. That was like the coming of age. You want better service than that, but great goal.
So back into the middle, Draper wins this one, plays the advantage. There was a whistle on play. He tumbles it inside 50. Getting there first was Logan Morris, paddles it to his own advantage. Turned it over, though, picked up there by Essendon. Well done there by Jones, but his left foot bounces towards the boundary line and goes out. Last disposal free kick to Brisbane, to Jared Berry. He retreats a little by a foot to find Hugh McCluggage just forward of centre wing. His little sand wedge finds Fletcher. Fletcher still 65 from goal. Puts it back towards the corridor to Ryan Lester. He takes off from 60. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Nobody flew. Connor McKenna's kick was smothered. Reid Harrison. Oh, he was taken down and about 30 metres out in front of the Brisbane goal. Umpire will come in and throw it up.
Very congested lines. Just got to watch, not trying to get a little bit individual.
Oh, Draper's gone own possession again. Kick smothered. Shunted forward first by Rayner and then off the ground by Bailey. Bailey from the top of the goal mouth kicks his second goal. So that gets the margin back to 82. 18-14, 122 to the Bombers 5-10-40. But of more interest beyond the game, if you weren't with us earlier on, Jason, you want to tell the listeners your mail about the future of Zach Bailey?
Yeah, it's changed. He was certainly, the offer wasn't good enough earlier in the year, but thankfully they did negotiate. It seems like he's much happier with the second deal. There'll be lots of reasons for that, but it looks like they should announce I believe he's signed, that he has signed, and they'll announce it this week.
Well, there you go. From Jason Ackermanis, one of the biggest talking points of the year, despite huge offers from other clubs, it looks like Zach Bailey is going to stay a Lion. But you also told us you reckon Lockie Neal's as good as gone.
Yeah. I think you'll find Lockie will be at Collingwood next year. I think Craig McRae's sold him on that one.
There you go. Back into the middle, off hands of the ruckman. Parrish got there in front of Will Ashcroft, and then enter Jared Berry. He turned it over, though. Sullivan Roby through traffic, wheeled around onto the right foot inside 50. Harris Andrews against Peter Wright. Andrews had the front position, well spoiled by Wright at the base of the pack. McGrath peels himself off the Gabba turf after being tackled by Wilmot. Umpire will throw it up quickly. Bryan versus Draper. Towed off there by Clark, and it gets into the contest, the one-on-one. Harris Andrews has given away a free kick. Gabba crowd don't like it, especially those in front at the Queensland Cricketers Club, right in front.
All at a throw, I think.
They have been throwing the ball all year, and the youngsters side a cheap one when the margin's 82 and it means nothing to give that free kick.
It's one of the many subtle changes to the game this year.
Fair enough.
Well, let's review the whole lot. Let's hope
the ball at no stage shall be thrown.
But he is kicking, Peter Wright. This is the third one we've been right behind in the
he's kicked 2 goals for the Bombers. His third attempt skews to the right. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf once said. 122 plays 41. 81 points the margin. The Lions lead, and we've played 14 minutes of this final quarter.
Graham from WA, he's a Roos member. He said, can you tell the Lions that the quarter has started? It'd be nice for a team to lose by more than 124 points. Just saying, referring to the carnage that happened in regional WA when the Roos went on their 2-week trip there and got flogged by Freo earlier in the year. Will Ashcroft, centre half back for Brisbane, chips it to Reveal. By the way, 0437 774 774. Reveal back to Will Ashcroft, who ran on and received, now kicks to the wing. Dunkley gathers the bouncing ball, has options ahead. Hands it to Levi Ashcroft, hands it to Fletcher. Fletcher runs the boundary at left half forward, hands to Reveal. Reveal hands infield. Hold on, umpires pulled it up.
Fletcher.
It's downfield.
Now, 2 umpires are looking at each other, and Bruce Reveal's going to get a free kick. Was that transferred from what Fletcher got dumped late?
Yeah, that was
downfield free kick, or more so infield. Reveal. He's going to have a crack from 50. Missed it left. Got the journey easily. Kicks a point. 123 to 41. G'day to Presto. He's listening from Hawaii. Sadly, he's an Essendon man.
Gee. At least he's in Hawaii.
At least he's in Hawaii, Matt. Good point.
That made up for it, I suppose.
Absolutely.
So, extracted by Essendon, came off the hands there of Day Wicks. Handball forward from Kako. It's swept forward. Blackiston runs onto it. Approaches left half forward. Gets it inside 50. Right v Harris Andrews. And you heard Matty Primus say it was a great kick. That was to his advantage. And Peter Wright takes the mark. 35 out directly in front.
He's got to kick through this ball, Big Pete. He's leant back on the last couple and pushed him right. So just head down, kick through it, and they finish off with what's been a pretty good night for him.
He's been 1-on-1 and 2-on-1s.
And he hasn't missed any to the left. He has been all Peter Wright tonight.
That's correct. 2 goals for, in fact, Peter Wright. He could have had a handful. One of the rare highlights for Essendon tonight. He comes in and bangs this one through. He's got 3. The Bombers have their 6th on the board. Once again, that margin is reduced to below 80 points. It's 76, 18-15, 123 to 6-11, 47. We're about halfway through the final quarter on ABC Sport.
I'm just going to put it out there. Both goal umpires have some of the best-looking mustaches I've ever seen.
Really?
They are bushy. They look like the 70s. You know, back when you used to watch the cop shows from America.
Tom Selleck.
Chips?
Chips. That's just sensational. That's it.
And that was cool as well, because they weren't just cops. Yes. They were cops on motorbikes, like you, Jace.
My brother's a cop, but he hasn't got a mustache like that. That said, some nice points here for Essendon. They're actually starting to sequence well. They're winning the ball. They're playing some actual AFL standard football.
CHP, California Highway Patrol. Put an I and an S in it and you get chips. What a show. Clearance for Essendon from the stoppage. Ball rushed to half forward, but McGrath locks up Leicester and ensures there's no further there. So we'll have a ball up on attacking 50 for the Bombers, who have showed some pride in this last term. 5 goals to 2. Essendon leading it. Fletcher roves this stoppage, though, for Brisbane. Kicks them clear from half-back. Redmond underneath Essendon. Couldn't outmark McCluggage, but still wins the ball. McCluggage presses, but Redmond kicks inside 50. And great courage from Durham to hit the pack hard and take a flying chest mark 30 metres out straight in front.
Oh, he's played well all game, Durham. He's been their best player. Now he gets a chance to actually kick one. He's been setting them up all night. His energy has been wonderful. If you're an Essendon player, you'd want to, like I said earlier in the call, another 13 of him. Be nice.
Well, he was top 3 in the Crichton medal last year. Sam Durran finished 3rd to be precise, and here he is looking to kick his 9th goal of the season. No angle to speak of, and to continue this nice little response from the Bombers on a pretty tough day for them. He's kicked the goal. 7-11. 53 trails 18-15, 123. So Essendon kicked 1 goal 9 up to three-quarter time, but they've kicked 5 goals 2 in this quarter.
Staggering. And that's his 6th score involvement. He's finally kicked one himself, Durham. He has been really good. I don't know what else to say if you're an Essendon supporter, but you want guys like him in your team next year. If they start to play like him, he's improved out of sight. And tonight has been probably the best game I've seen him play.
Well, I'll tell you what, we thought we were a lay-down misère to have Brisbane's biggest win against Essendon, which currently was 66 points. The Lions did get out to, 95. Now the Bombers are a chance of keeping that mark from 2004 intact.
Yes. Well, still half a quarter to go.
Yeah, only 4 points away from that now.
Well, 70 points the margin. Back into the middle of the Gabba. Well, whistle on play, and it was, geez, you'd play some advantage there, wouldn't you? Because I reckon...
No. Ump's arm was going the wrong way.
Okay, just the wrong traffic cop.
Wrong chips.
Exactly. So it went to McCluggage, and he put it forward, and it was cut off. Well done there by Sharp, who turned around and then delivered it straight down the throat of Darcy Wilmot, but he plays for Brisbane. No good. He centralised the ball. Will Ashcroft, chip, then the handball receive. Will to Levi, back to Will. He got it to Bruce Reville and kicked it to left half forward to Darcy Fort, and then he chips it inside 50. It bounced off the left pec of Cam Rayner. Dribbles towards the paint of 50, was picked up there by Redmond. He skids the ball towards the wing here, Nicely picked up by Darcy Wilmot, playing his 100th. He was tackled, but the handball away. Harris Andrews. Gee, that's a helicopter 20-metre handball to Bruce Reville. To the run of Lockie Neal. They're at least trying now, Essendon. Connor McKenna gathered, had a bounce, traversed the arc, and kicked a beauty. That is his second. Only the second AFL player ever to win an All-Ireland title and a premiership behind Ty Kennelly. It is the former bomber Connor McKenna. 19-15, 129 to 7-11, 53, and we are back to a 76-point margin in favour of Brisbane.
Hasn't he been wonderful going forward? They've really found a role for him, and his plates kicked some goals. As soon as he came back in and to the side, playing forward, he was wonderful, kicking them from everywhere. That was a sidewinder, though. They're those little ones you kick. I don't know if you ever kicked like that, Pricey, where they go left to right. They just held this line and just snuck in. You'll love that.
In the old vernacular, I couldn't kick over a jam tin, Acker, so...
Well, it was the sub in the grand final win over Sydney. He didn't get a gig in the grand final against Geelong last year, and he missed the first couple of games this season, but he has been terrific since earning his way back into the team, Connor McKenna. Centre stoppage, and, well, run down by Ford, but Cordwell hands it to Brian and Essendon get the clearance, shunts it to half forward. Durham's under pressure, tackled by Zorko ferociously. And when you get tackled by the Zork, they stick. And the ump says, mine. Thrown in the air, still in the middle of the ground. Fort taps down. Neal gets it to his boot quickly to clear the stoppage for Brisbane. A tumbler to the wing. Races on between Clark and Dunkley. And Dunkley does enough to see it over the line in front of young Angus Clark. Playing his first game of the year. Good to see him back out there. That's another positive for Essendon. Young talent who's had a bit of trouble with ankle and foot issues this year.
Yeah, they need all their stars. Well, their picks, their early picks, they like them playing this time of year, that's for sure.
Thrown on the wing. Give that to Brian of Essendon. Taps down to Parrish. Hold on, whistle. Essendon free kick. And Parrish was held before it got to him. So Darcy Parrish will set the Bombers forward once more from the wing. Veteran in his 11th season. Kicks to right half forward in a big pack. Andrews, though, won the volleyball and then got the hand pass out the back to Zorko. Zorko's kick's going to be a last touch. Free kick to the Bombers. It was a rushed 20-metre hack from the Zork. And Clark's going to take it forward of the wing for Essendon, who trail by 76 points.
He goes to the left of the man on the mark, Bruce Reville, and kicks it straight towards goal. And floating Harris Andrews. Darcy Fort held the ground, and Harris Andrews floated in front of the pack, took the mark, flared it out to the right to find Levi Ashcroft. He chips it 15 metres forward to Rayner.
Someone's just texted me a photo of Chips. They didn't have moustaches.
No.
Oh, gee.
No, that was Magnum PI, wasn't it?
That was,
Tom
Selleck. Ferrari.
Yes,
Tommy
that was a hell of a moustache too. Extracting kick from...
I apologise.
Andrews gets to left half back now. Ty Gallop, who's proving himself quite the backman. He plays on a long kick beyond centre wing. Flying McKenna over the back McLuggage. The handball received. Bruce Reville has a bounce. Puts it into the pocket looking for Morris.
Beautiful kick.
He has become a beautiful distributor of the ball.
Yep.
Like he should have been for years. I don't know why he didn't have that confidence. He's a beauty. He's one. I said that him and Zorko, the only elite kicks in their team. Anyway, that was a nice one.
You do set a high bar for elite kick, though, Jason.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I know, but
don't pump his tyres up.
Now this kid can play.
2 goals, 3 to Logan Morris. He's got it. He's facing inboard. The man on the mark standing 25 from goal next to the boundary. He went to curl it. He struck it too fat. It's 1 behind. So that'll be 2 goals, 4 to Morris. 129 plays 53. 77 points the margin. Lions lead.
Short inbound for the Bombers. Taken by young Farrow. Dishes off to Parrish. Parrish to Roberts, who runs to left half back. Kicks the Bombers to the wing. Oh, Draper lost his footing. Picked up by Brian of Essendon. Kicks towards half forward. Oh, Andrews in front of right. Outmarks him with a juggler on right half back. And Harris calmly slots it infield to Berry. Berry kicks the left half back. And the crowd does the commentary every time the Corn Road 38 gets the ball. Reville chips it wide to Neal. Marks, and he'll kick it back to... Come on, crowd, do it for me. Thank you.
This is so good.
Chips it back to Berry. Lions look like they've had enough. They're just keeping off in the half-back line until they see the corridor. Now Berry pings it to the middle of the ground. McKenna leads, pushed off it by Farrow. Legal, play on. Durham picks up for Essendon. Shocking kick, turns it over. Dunkley marks just forward of centre half-back for Brisbane.
He's going to bring it back over to the commentary wing. Rayner by himself accepts it. Handball forward to Jasper Fletcher. He's got Lachie Neale literally jogging beside him. Decides to give him the ball and then they retreat by foot to Wilmot on the logo, then him 20 metres forward. Oh, Rayner gathers and puts it into the pocket. Draper! The big ruckman now, he's not hitting speed. He's going back for a set shot. We're right behind it here too. The man on the mark standing 45 out, 45-degree angle to the left.
Well, they kick a drop punt, thankfully, and he will be so excited if he gets it.
He kicked a cracking goal earlier. The former Bomber, Sam Draper, will release from the arc of 50. It curls back. He's kicked his second and nonchalantly walks off as if to say, did you see what I did there? 20 goals, 16, 136. Plays 7, 11, 53. We return to an 83-point margin after 26 and a half of the final term. Zane Bojack on the boundary.
When Sammy Draper can kick a drop punt like that, why does he do all this around the corner stuff? Wow, that was a ripper.
Oh, it's ridiculous. He did have the right to left on that one. You didn't quite see it over there, Zane, but we saw it. It was a beauty. Sometimes you kick him, and I actually know he did not mean that. That said, he would have enjoyed it immensely against his old side.
Crowd posted at 30,505. 30,505 for Brisbane against Essendon. And it will be the Lions' 4th win in a row and 11th win of the season. And Essendon will be stuck on that one solitary victory that they picked up earlier in the season. Caddy is in ruck now and he roves that crumb. Kicks Essendon inside 50. Can't kick it to himself, though. Ainsworth first to meet it for Brisbane. He's tackled by Sharp. Got a boot to it, but kicked it straight to Caddy. He can get down there in time in the end. Caddy takes the mark, 45 from goal.
Just jogged down there, and what do you know? He's playing in the middle, and he's luck's a fortune. Matty, you would have kicked this, can I say? You were one of the best last quarter kick from 50 ruckmen of all time. I know you talk yourself down, but this boy...
your water, Aka.
He's kicked one goal, Nate Caddy. As mentioned, extended his contract from 28 through to 31 this week, and the Bombers fans will be happy about that. And he's kicked that goal as well. 2 goals on the night for young Nate Caddy. He's still only 43 games into a very promising career, and that's now 7 goals in the last quarter for Essendon, having kicked 1 in the first 3 quarters of the game. Brisbane by 77 at 136 to 59.
Well, it's great for the individual players and the coaches. There's something to hang your hat on. Whoever they got next week, they just review this last quarter. Be it
they got the Giants at Docklands next week.
At Docklands, just review this last quarter and more of this next week. That's all they've got to do.
Yeah, they would have pleaded with him at 3/4 time. Fellas, come on, let's play some footy. Looks like, intensity around the ball and chasing. It'll turn. You'll eventually get it and get it inside 50. Look out.
Well, 13 inside 50s to 10. They've got in front of Brisbane this quarter, but the clearance there won by Will Ashcroft. Gave it to Levi, backwards to Neale. He gave it back to Levi, who flicked it over to Bruce Reville, who got away from his opponent, put it forward to centre wing, back to Will Ashcroft, who kept running.
50.
And somebody went through the demilitarised zone. Nobody stood. So Will Ashcroft is going to cop a 50-metre penalty, and he'll go up and have a shot at goal from 50.
So if he kicks this, you'll get level with Levi. With Levi.
Yeah, there is a little bit of sibling rivalry going on between Levi and Will with regards to their goal kicking.
So both had 7 to start. Will got to 8. Levi got to 8. Levi got to 9, and now Will needs this to get to 9.
And in fact, both kicked a... Traverses the paint of 50 and absolutely drills that. It's a magnificent finish from the two-time Norm Smith medalist, 21 goals, 16, 142. Plays 8-11-59, back to 83 points. The Lions lead late in the final term.
Do you remember we had Wilbur on a couple of games ago? I was here, so it must be maybe a month ago. And he missed a simple one. And I said, Wilbur, because I know how much he wants to kick these goals. He loves kicking them. And he works hard on it, believe it or not. Anyway, here we wrap with that because he doesn't get a lot of opportunities, but when he does, forget his brothers, their bloody battle. Don't worry about that. I think any time those two are kicking goals in a game, it's a good sign.
Well, he's known for his ability to be able to kick the freakish goal. Kicked goal of the year in his first season.
Hand to foot.
And, but knows his salt is earned by those really set shot ones. Brian over the top of Draper at the ruck. Kako does the roving for Essendon. His defensive side of the stoppage, though. Hand pass sets Redmond a task. He's locked up. And it will be a ball up still near the bullseye. Draper whacks it 30 metres towards half forward. A clean knuckle. Found Cameron 40 from goal. Hand pass looking for Lohman. Didn't find him immediately. McKenna, though, brilliant hand pass to Will Ashcroft, and he goes to 3 goals on the night with a little dribbler and ahead of his brother with 2 goals in a minute. And Draper, Matt Primus. Oh, it was just the old smash it clear.
Yeah, get it away from the traffic. And unfortunately, Essendon had set up a spare, but the ball didn't bounce up at all. Just skidded and kept low, went right through their feet, and they kicked it. And now you wouldn't believe it, Q, but Brisbane's percentage goes to 117 on the dot.
All right, so that's
with
that
minute 30 to go in the game.
Sets the Lions into the 8s for the time being on percentage. Ahead of Adelaide and ahead of Melbourne, who had another good win.
Did you say into the 8 or the top 4?
Into the 4. Did I say 8?
You said 8. That's okay.
Thank you, Jason, for picking me up.
I know. I know your numbers are really good, and you wouldn't make that error normally.
So he's up to 32 disposals, 7 clearances, 5 centre ball-up clearances, and 3 goals too, as well as 12 score involvements, Will Ashcroft. Promoting the ball forward from this stoppage, though, Caldwell for the Bombers. He's turned it over, though. Oh, they're off into races again. Here's Zach Bailey. 1-2 with Draper. Bailey delivers a sizzler into the midst of Eric Hipwood on the lead, who didn't have to change stride. Took the ball in front of his face. 40 out directly in front.
Take a pick. Got a lot of options there, flowing through there. It's just a beautiful watch. Anytime you watch a team just going through your middle of the ground, untouched, with beautiful skills like that.
These were the wobbly ones for Eric.
Oh, he's come in off the long run, so he's starting 5 metres in front of the... Oh, he gave the handball off to Darcy Wilmot, who snuck in, got pushed as he kicked it, so it hasn't made the distance. Off hands, Lohman goes one way, then the other, then centres the ball to Lachie Neale. 45 out. He wants to kick it back to Wilmot. They want to give him a goal for his 100th game, but Kako was wise to it and got to Darcy Wilmot. Okay. So it's going to be Lachie Neale, 45 out. Slight angle to the left.
They set that up too, but Kako was onto it. Let's just spoil the party. I mean, honestly.
Well, Darcy Wilmot is an extremely popular member of this side, playing his 100th AFL game as well. But Lachie Neale, from 45, leans back on it and pulls it to the left, one behind. 149 plays 59, so it's a 90-point margin. And we're very late in the final quarter.
So this will be Brisbane's biggest ever win over Essendon. Long inbound, goes towards the right. Gallup battle. Gallup punches it out of play. So the Lions, after that loss to Freo, they thought they were a bit wobbly, but they've won 4 in a row since, including victories over Geelong and Sydney. They're now 11-6. And this percentage is just going to be enough to have them inside the top 4 again tonight, retaining that position from earlier in the round after Adelaide had a big win last night. It's been all Brisbane at the Gabba, and the 2-time reigning champs take a step closer to try to earn that double chance in 2026. The Bombers slide closer to their 6th wooden spoon. The Lions have flogged the Dons by 90.
Pride of Brisbane town, we wear the roll, blue and gold. We will always fight for victory, like the Troy and Bears of old. All for one and one for all. We will
Brisbane 22 goals, 17, 149 to Essendon's 8-11-59. So surpassing their 11-goal margin in the 2004 season as their previous biggest win against the Bombers, and they smashed it. 90 is the margin at the Gabba to complete round 18. And there were goal kickers aplenty for the Premiers. 3 goals for Kai Lohmann, 3 goals also for Will Ashcroft. Sam Draper kicked 2 goals. Levi Ashcroft kicked 2 goals. Logan Morris kicked 2. Charlie Cameron kicked 2. Connor McKenna kicked 2. Eric Hipwood kicked 2. And Zach Bailey kicked 2. And there were singles for Josh Dunkley and Hugh McCluggage. The Bombers had only kicked 1 goal until three-quarter time, but they put a little bit of respectability into the scoreline by kicking 7 goals in the last quarter. In the end, Peter Wright kicked 3 of the 7. 2 goals for... sorry, he didn't kick 3 of the 7. He kicked 2 of the 7 in the quarter and 3 of the 8 for the game. So Wright with 3, 2 to Caddy, and singles to McGrath, Kako and Durham. There's a kid running on the ground.
Honestly.
And he has just evaded a security guard who has tumbled trying to tackle him. And now the kid's going to try and jump the fence and escape.
Oh, don't worry about him, guys. He's only a kid.
Well, he shouldn't be allowed to do that.
I know. But he will be soon. He'll be able to get $5,000.
Anyway.
It's expensive night for his parents.
Yes.
I'll give you the tip.
So Brisbane by 33 at quarter time, 52 at half time, 95 at three-quarter time. The Bombers did with that last term, 90 in the end. So the Lions are 11 wins and 6 losses. They've now won 4 in a row. They go west to take on the Eagles next week, whereas Essendon will welcome the rejuvenated Greater Western Sydney Giants at Docklands. And that live ladder is complete. And, yep, so Brisbane started the round in the 4 with 111.7. Adelaide just behind them on percentage. Adelaide's big win got them to 116.9 and into the top 4. But Brisbane now jumped ahead of them by 0.2. So they're 4th, Adelaide's 5th, and the Dons, the Demons, who won earlier today, also won 44, complete the top 6 with 109%. We'll go through all of that. Your texts welcome on 0437 774 774. Zane Bojack will get into the rooms. But first and foremost, Jason Ackermanis and Matthew Primus will explain to you a result which was probably the expected one, but how was the manner of the story? How'd they go about it, the Lions, tonight?
Domination is what it was. I mean, it's great to see Essendon actually do something in the last quarter, because they were horrible. They were horrible for so long. They were kicking inside 50. They had nothing in front of the ball. They were just going to one-on-ones. They could not kick straight anyway. And just the lack of intensity on defence. They were just miles from their opponent at times. It was just so easy. It was a training drill for a bit. That said, what a great win. If you're a Lions fan, that's what you want to do. You want to be able to beat teams like that. They are going to win the wooden spoon, so they should. Outside of Durham, probably Peter Wright played well. I thought Caddy was lively. They've got, you want to see a little bit more from Essendon if you're a fan next year. They get a new coach, they'll want all those players up and about, particularly their young stars. I didn't see much today that you like. You wouldn't be excited about anything right now, but that said, a big crowd came in, as it always does, but they have some serious work to do. Matty?
Yeah, they certainly have got some serious work to do. Okay, that was the highest scoring quarter of the year, Essendon. So, there's those little green shoots, as they say, you've got to look at. But it was what we expected, wasn't it? Brisbane not going to flirt with form, regardless of the opposition, just come out and continue the way they've played over the last 3 or 4 weeks, where they're starting to make the competition
like a
notice everybody and go, oh, hang on, these guys are getting rolling at the right time. They're getting healthy at the right time. Their good players are starting to come back into some form. McCluggage gets a full game under his belt. Zorko takes off like he hadn't missed a game all year, didn't he? The way
that's probably the best bit, wasn't it? Those players
getting through it there. No injuries from them, and they did what they had to do. And Essendon are a club that's a hell of a long way off, and unfortunately, 4 or 5 weeks still to go with them. It's going to be a long season, but at least they showed some fight there, and some players can take some confidence out of that. And as you said, a couple of guys showed some. I thought Roby showed some stuff too. Throughout the game.
Polish in there.
In the end, it was a team that looks like they're well on their way to being right there at the pointy end of the season again.
So Zane Bojack will be in the rooms in a moment. Keep your texts coming on 0437 774 774.
So what I'd really like to, I think 12 goal kickers or 11, I'm not sure where they finished up, but I love that. You have 22 goals, 17, and it wasn't about just, I loved at the end trying to give Wilmot his score, but they shared the ball around, and it was, they just kept on playing the way they wanted to play. And sometimes when you're winning that easy, you can try and take some bounces or rack up some touches, but there was none of that for their game the whole night, Brisbane. It was a team effort, and they got rewarded with 11 goal kickers is a terrific effort.
Well, dangerous goal kickers, and they pop up, but they don't do it every game, or they don't do it often. Sometimes you see little patches from players. Tonight's a different story. You're not playing great opposition, but there's still what Chris Fagan would love is any time your midfielders are kicking goals.
Yep.
That is a win every day of the week, because that's really what can separate you. The last thing you want to do is have midfielders that do nothing except kick it inside, and the forwards have got to do the rest. It is a bonus. So tonight, just a lot of things to like if you're Brisbane. Not a lot of things to like for Essendon, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the Lions just leaving the venue. So that official crowd again was 30,505. Brisbane winning by 90 points to join Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs as the winners on this Sunday of round 18. Dogs beat the Eagles by 16 points. The D's beat the Tigers by 46 points. And Zane Bojack is among the throng inside the Lions rooms. You can call them in, Zano. They're headed down the tunnel and they're on their way to you.
It's been a pretty poor week if you're a Queenslander, but there's a lot of big support in this crowd down here in the dressing rooms. A lot of supporters as Josh Dunkley and Froggy Lester make their way in. Darcy Wilmot was the first in because it's his 100th game. Dane Zorko, he's very happy as well. Look, they've come in big numbers to celebrate a win in the Sunshine State. There we see Ty Gallup. Where's he going to play for the rest of the year? No Darcy Gardner. They're telling me it's at the serious end, that hamstring, so more likely 6 weeks rather than 4. So he's probably going to have to play down the back line for the rest of the year. Darcy Ford, who of course got injured during the contest, he's got a lot of bandaging around both legs, I can tell you. And it's not just the padding for the ruck contest. They're forming in now with Connor McKenna coming in. It's small Lockie Neal up alongside Eric Hipwood. Here's McCulloch. Now they've formed the unit. The song is about to be sung. So there you go, Q. 5 wins in a row. They're 11th of the season. They're back in the top 4, and we'll have big Sammy Draper very shortly.
That's a good get. I reckon he'll be pretty happy with the way he played today. And one of the goals that he kicked, his first one, if you missed it, not quite his goal of the year quality of a couple of years ago, but it had a bit of galloping flair about it, which brought a smile to the face of Matt Primus and Sam Draper. Anyone who loves the big fellas going for a gallop and a goal. Nothing ever really is going to match Justin Madden running away from Sean Wren, though, in the early 90s at Waverley Park. Yeah. That was the greatest gallop of the dinosaurs we've ever seen. But still, it was a pretty good one, as the Gabba is now flooded by fans because they're allowed to get out there and have kick today. Brisbane 22-17, 179. Essendon 8-11-59. That text message number is 0437 774 774. G'day, Fran. She says, yeah, can't analyse it, the Dons. They just have to get on with it. Pray for the season to end fast. 2027 reset. Thanks for your call. Yeah, thanks for your text, Franz. Let's get back to the rooms. Sam Draper is with us. Sam, Quentin Hull along with Michael Price, Jason Ackermanis and Matt Primus. Congrats on the win, but firstly, I'll let you tell the fishing story about that first goal.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad, was it? Just when I got the ball, just dry my legs, and then, good things happened. So I was pretty happy with that.
I said, Matt Primus up here, mate. What about your bounce through the middle of the ground too, mate? Just after that goal, I think it's a beautiful bounce, and then lay someone out inside 50. But hey, well done on tonight's game. We were speaking about it here just briefly, just before you guys got in the rooms. I thought even though you were playing a team that was down the bottom of the ladder, it was just a team football. Like, you shared the goals, you shared inside 50. There was no people chasing kicks and marks and handballs. It was just a complete offence, complete defence, and your contest work was outstanding.
Yeah, well, that's great that you could see that, because we did really focus on being selfless pre-game. It's what's got us into this position right now, and doesn't matter who you play. If we bring that energy and play selfless like that, we can beat anyone. So I'm really happy you could see that tonight.
Now, big fella outside, it's Jason Ackermanis here, mate. I should never ever say anything about anyone else's haircut. I just love it. Is there any reason? You know, when you go to haircuts, sometimes you go colour and you're thinking, no, I really like this, because you've made it your own. You've come here, whether it's good luck or not, it's working. Because you haven't been injured, you've been enjoying your footy, and it's just must be a completely different sort of feel and club coming here, considering what you're looking at tonight, which was your old team.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying my new environment. I've said it before, but I think I needed a change, and physical and mental reset, and Brisbane able to give me that, and I'm enjoying my time up in Queensland, and what the club's been able to give me. So no complaints so far.
I'll talk about the Lions in a moment, but you've obviously got a lot of mates in the opposite jumper tonight. Footy's footy, and it's tough, but do you empathise with what they're going through?
Yeah, absolutely. I've still got a lot of close mates there at the Bombers, and I'll continue being a good mate to them and getting around them, keep pumping them up, because there's some good footy players at that club. They're not putting it all together just yet, but I think they can get it done.
That being said, what have you picked up in the 9 months or so that you've been in the building at Springfield and here at the Gabba, as a pretty successful footy club tries to find its way to even more success?
Yeah, just keeping it really simple with me, and just literally playing with presence, and just being a big nuisance out there, and throwing my weight around. And then tonight I was able to get a few little crazy things on the end where I kick the snag, but if I do that stuff first, then that's all they're worried about. So just keeping it really simple, and just loving working with 40. I think we work really well together. I think we're starting to really work every opponent we play against over, and we're just doing our bit for the team, and that's what we need to do.
And here's one sort of bit left field, but big guy, and you've had times where your body really has been hard to get right. Now that you're spending the winter in the warmer climate, is it a thing or is it not? Has it helped you to keep yourself healthy being away from the colder southern winter?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, to be honest. The last couple of weeks have been beautiful. 25 degrees, main training, you can't complain with that. It does make it a little bit easier, I reckon.
I think it helps a lot of players when they come up here. Yeah. So many guys have come here and been injured. You had Joey Dennehy, you had McCarthy as well, McCarthy, and they come up here and
Luke
can't
Hodge,
be just
got a couple of extra years.
You can't just be it's because of the medical stuff. Isn't it like that? I think mentally too, they enjoy being in the warmth. I'm sure you that extra gallop, you get up here and you get rolling. Facilities wise and culture wise, how have you found that part of it? Because you've got to come in, you've got to earn your spot. You're in the best team in the comp. How have you found all that part of it?
Yeah, I found it pretty easy to settle in, to be honest. I really aligned with the club values, and I think that makes it really easy. And Fags just keeps it really simple for me. Just, like I said, play with presence, be a good bloke, and good things will happen. So I just like to keep it simple, and hopefully we can keep it going.
That midfield rotation, which has got its different dynamics about it, when you're up there, thinking of which direction your tap's going to go. Obviously, Josh Dunkley sort of plays that negating role. You've got Lockie there. You've got Will Ashcroft floating around among others. Who sort of drives the decision each time you make that stoppage sort of tactic?
Yeah, Dunks is probably the guy that tees everything up. He sees the game quite well, and just so selfless with his role, and he'll often be playing on someone, so we can work around that. But you see the stuff that the guys do when they get out the front of the stoppage and look flashy, but we really do value defence and our pressure, and everyone buys into that. So I think that is our secret weapon.
Sam, Michael Price just said congratulations on your game, mate. I don't like to individualise, but just watching the veteran Dane Zorko come back into the team, and he hit the ground running. He's some kind of talisman or barometer for the side, isn't he?
Yeah, it's quite impressive. Don't know how old he is now, but he
254, yeah.
he's still sharp as and really sets us up down there. So, no, Zorks is so valuable. He, looked like he hadn't missed a beat.
And look, you've beaten a team that you're expected to beat tonight, but what kind of belief have you got over the last couple of weeks by beating a couple of the contenders around you? That win in Geelong, particularly last week.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks were huge, and I think it's really set ourselves up for the second half of the year. I've never beaten Geelong in my career, so I was pretty happy with last week. So, yeah, no, we knew that that was going to be a challenge the last 2 weeks, and we just keep that same attitude, doesn't matter who we play, and, hopefully we can keep it going.
And that goal today, not as good as your goal of the year? Or, do we need to seriously consider that you might be a two-time winner of that award?
No, I don't reckon it's as good as the goal of the year, but I'm very happy with that.
Thanks for your time, Sam. Well done.
Thanks, fellas.
Big fella. It's not easy winning goal of the year. I don't know if you've ever won one, G.
Haven't won a Brownlow medal either, Jason. No. It must be tough to do.
That was fantastic, the big fella.
What'd you get for your goal of the year, Acker?
10 grand. And it was 10 grand, can I say, for the next 20-something years. Until 2 years ago, where they actually upped
They gave
the points.
The frequent flyer points.
Frequent flyer points. It was a joke. Talk about, where's inflation? Nothing. Talk about tight. That was in 2001. Took to 2023 before it changed. Yeah, 10 grand. I got a big oversized cheque. I kept it.
You still got it at home?
Yeah, it's at home somewhere.
The big Happy Gilmore cheque.
Throw it on the back of the car. Yes, and it was paid into my bank account. Yeah, 10 grand, man.
0437 774 774 if you want to get in touch. 0437 774 774. Brisbane 22-17, 149 to Essendon's 8-11-59. If you have just tuned in and wanting a sort of wrap up of the day, the other two games, Western Bulldogs and Melbourne, the winners, although the Eagles really did test the Bulldogs. Eventually Aaron Norton kicked 5 and helped the Dogs get home by 16 points. Western Bulldogs 13 goals, 8-86 to West Coast's 9-16-70. Melbourne 46 to the good of the Tigers at the G, with Van Rooyen kicking 6 for the Ds. Melbourne 16-15, 111 to Richmond's 9-11-65. The other footy news of the day, Jason Horne-Francis has been given a one-match suspension for his rough conduct on Liam Stocker, deemed careless, medium impact and high contact. And while staying at Port, scans today revealing Zach Butters has suffered a high-grade ankle injury, the syndesmosis, in that loss to the Saints at Docklands. So Butters to undergo surgery in Melbourne in the coming days, ruled out for at least 4 weeks, but Port says that he hasn't been ruled out for the season just yet. So, boy, isn't that story going to accelerate with questions now?
Attendance are bad too. They take a long time.
And truly about whether or not he may or may not have played his last game for the Power. We had Josh Carr on the pre-game on AFL Saturday yesterday, and some good probing from Corby, but Josh Carr saying, yep, they're happy to wait till the end of the season and they'll make all decisions when they've got contingencies one way or the other.
They know he's
6
going.
rounds left. And if it's
is that what you're hearing? I mean, you're on the money, Jace.
Oh, he's
You've told us that Zach Bailey's staying, Lachie Neale's going. What are you hearing about Zach Butters?
100% going. But, I like the best thing that is, and they don't do it they do it in league, they don't do it in Aussie rules, where everyone knows, Josh knows, they're not going to say anything. There's no point. They're really good about it. They're like, we need going. Just give us everything, and then we'll trade you, and we wish you the best.
Well, Matt, you've still got some Port contacts.
Well, for what you can hear that he is going, but it's going to be on the best terms. It's look at his form this year has been outstanding. He's led the club with Rosie out and
number 1 and 2 in the comp nearly every week.
He's been outstanding, and then he'll do the best deal that can be done for the club to get some great draft picks, which they need for some talent they've got coming in the door next year.
So keep your messages coming on the text 0437 774 774. Leon, who's an Eagles fan at Bull Creek, says, chin up Essendon fans, it can get better. And the Eagles fans know about it.
They've been down at the bottom for a long time, but it is slowly getting better for them.
Phil from Victoria says, Acker, with Lachie Neale, why would he go to Melbourne and not closer to his family?
I
thought the Pies need a forward.
Yeah, that's it.
He did
Well,
say.
You don't have to divulge any secrets there.
I'm not going to speak for him, but in footy, I know family is very important to him, but in footy, you've got to take still the best deal. Only because of his age and what you can make now, a 3-year deal, you would not say no to that. You certainly wouldn't be going back to purchase because as far as your kids are there, I know he loves them, but he still sees them plenty. They've got to work through that. That's another story. But yeah, that's the best deal is to go to Collingwood, then that's the best deal.
I did see, I read somewhere that his dad, mum, lived in Country Vic or Warrnambool or something.
Yes.
Yeah, his mother and his...
it's not just that easy.
So there is family there.
Yeah,
too, it's not just...
There's parts of his family all around the place near the border and so forth. So, it's an interesting time, but...
that'll be the deciding, I suppose, the part of it will be the actual deal because you don't play forever and having a 3-year deal at his age and everything he's done, he deserves it, don't get me wrong, but I would be taking it.
I really think that it's probably time for the AFL to just get a bit more transparent with this stuff. I mean, it either punish the talk behind closed doors and say it's not allowed or just be transparent because, I think...
What do you mean, as far as like?
Well, it doesn't help the players' reputation.
Has the Lockie deal been transparent one?
But Lockie has said, I spoke to...
Yeah, but as far as,
Collingwood.
If decisions have been made, let's hear about it.
Been made, yeah.
Let's hear about it. And we saw, look at the terrible scenario that Oscar Allen had to go through last year. And so there's the other side of it.
Yeah.
It probably didn't help West Coast in the end, whether he was going or not, and he probably was going, but it didn't help West Coast in the end because of the way that he got found out, then had to front the press, and then felt horrible about it as well, and thought, I need to get out of here.
Yeah, the one difference
I just that argument, and you know that I work across a lot of different codes, and we know the American system and all that type. I just think there is a better way. We are professional enough now, surely in 2026, when it comes to contracts, we know that these guys are businessmen as much as footballers. Don't fool the fans. Don't fool your club. And you got to trust the players to go out there and fulfil their job and play for their teammates that they've got now.
I just think the difference is, and can I just put this out there, you see it with league, it is a completely different set of circumstances because they've got to have, the cut-off is, I think, June 30 or July 31. Anyway, you have to make that decision, so that's an easy one. The problem I have with the AFL is because it is so... it's vested on the only real, I suppose, sport in the country that does the draft and does all of that. The NRL don't have this. That's the reason, because you can't, you give your hand. You remember, they've still got to negotiate in the negotiating period to get what's best for their club. Yeah, the player's moving. Everyone might know that. That's fine.
Yep.
But there's still, if you're, Matty will tell you as a coach, you're like, maybe we can get this pick or that pick. We can get that guy.
That player, yeah.
And that's really important. I think that's the reason they don't just come out and say, hey, let's be transparent.
0437 774 774 if you've got a thought. Or you could just do what Jason Ackermanis did in about, 2002 and make up a story that Sydney was after you when you were managing yourself.
They were after me. I don't know why they said I didn't make it up.
Did you?
I let it out.
When you were about to re-sign with the Lions and you told the press that Sydney wanted you.
They did want me. That was not a lie. It's actually because I actually admitted that was the case. Usually you didn't do it back then. No one did it.
Yeah.
And my stupid ADHD brain got me in trouble again. What an idiot. But yes, because Andrew Ireland, remember, was up here, and he's a good mate of mine. Then he was CEO down there.
And then went to Sydney and helped set up the successful.
So that was there.
Yeah.
Another main Tigers boy, Acker.
Another one. Now he's on, is the AFL committee, or is he on... He's on the big side of the AFL.
On the commission. Half of it.
Commission, the commission, that's it.
Commission.
He's really gone places.
Here is the premiership ladder after 18 rounds of football with all teams having played 17 games. Is that right?
Yep.
Fremantle 15-2, Sydney 13-4. Clearly the top two. And then you've got Hawthorn half a game ahead of Brisbane, Adelaide in Melbourne in the top six. The Hawks, courtesy of that draw against the Pies, are 11.5 wins. 114%, so percentage probably doesn't really come into play for Hawthorn unless they have a slip and the Pies have a surge. Or there's another draw somewhere. Brisbane, with that big win today, stay in the top four for the time being. 11 wins, 117.1%. Adelaide, 11 wins, 116.9%. Melbourne 11 wins, 109%. So all three of those clubs have had percentage boosting wins
jammed
over the weekend, and that's the top six. And then there's basically a gap of a game and a half for the top six because of the inferior percentage of the Western Bulldogs. So follow my logic.
They do that every year.
The Doggies are only a game outside the top six, but their percentage is 92.3.
Always like that. They were like that last year and the year before.
So then we've got Collingwood, 9.5 wins, 104.4, and Geelong's down to 9th.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Amazing what's happened in a couple of weeks for the Cats.
And they haven't even been terrible.
They were pretty terrible after letting that game slip to the Giants yesterday, and still waiting to see just the extent of Jeremy Cameron's
6.5 goals up, 7 goals up
issues. So Cats 9th, 9 and 8, and then St Kilda is at the top of 4 teams that have 8 wins and 9 losses. So the last of the wildcard places at the moment. In 10th, St Kilda, 106%. Greater Western Sydney, 101. Carlton, 92. North, 91.5. So 8 wins for all of those. Saints 10th, Giants 11th, Blues 12th, North 13th. Gold Coast Suns.
Cody Walker.
That's all over.
Gold Coast Suns. 7 wins, 10 losses, 95.6%.
He's done.
You working on the game with me next Sunday?
Yep.
We've got the Suns Bulldogs game next Sunday.
Yes.
You with me, Yaka?
No, I'm
okay.
racing supercards.
Oh, right, okay. But so the Suns now 14th, 7 wins.
I can ring in, though, if you
Port, 6 wins. West Coast 4, Richmond 2. So here's the other thing with Richmond getting pumped again today. So the battle for the spoon is still well and truly on between those two traditional Victorian powerhouses, because that last quarter from Essendon was handy because it maintains their percentage is better than Richmond, but Richmond's got one more win. So the Tigers 2 wins, 63%. Essendon 1 win, 66.6%. So
not much fun talking about who's going to win the spoon.
Okay, who's making the 8?
we don't talk in that context anymore, do we?
Is it the 6
sorry,
or
the 10. Sorry, the 10. Sorry. Who's making it? Who's Giants, Carlton?
Who have you got?
I've got it staying as is.
Yeah.
No change.
Saints will fly in.
I think GWS, you better watch them. They're actually coming good. They have not had a great
Look,
year.
I tipped the Giants to make the grand final, so I'll say that the Giants, that was pre-season. I'll say...
You're allowed to guess that one, right?
Of the teams in the bottom portion, Geelong obviously is the standard bearer of excellence, but they've only just dropped out of the top 6. But surely... Are the Giants the most dangerous team outside of the top 6?
They're very good. I think they're better than the other teams.
Other than Geelong.
Yeah, Geelong. But Geelong are in there.
Well,
GWS.
Carlton's form had been till in the trench.
Well, they had to play in the tsunami last night.
They'd beaten Geelong.
The orange tsunami, that rain. My word.
They'd beaten Geelong and who else have they knocked off? One of the other top teams.
Well, they've knocked off.
Big game next week. Carlton Pies.
No,
Big game next week.
That's about
Carl.
That'll be fun.
So that's another one that, that's like the old 8-point game because you're playing. I mean, they can go up and Collingwood stay nowhere or vice versa. So important rounds coming up. There's only, 5 to go? 6 to go?
Matt and Jace, just before we sort of finish up here, you've had a really good look in the flesh today at seeing Essendon. It's always better when you come to the footy to see what's going on. What have you got? What do you leave today thinking about what the Bombers might be able to get out of the back end of the year?
I don't think they can get anything other than more games in. Hopefully they've got some other players that are sitting there that are playing pretty good footy, that are young. They can expose them to the AFL because they do have talent, and their talent is young. It's going to mature. They've got a couple of guys you'd probably say now probably just list blockers now because they're not playing. They've been there for years. They'll get moved on. But it's an exciting and also scary time because, you coach, you've got players who can play that are playing okay footy. I don't know what else you can really say, Q, other than, Parrish and these guys. They get lots of ball, but they're not. I think there's better players out there who are going to become better players for Essendon. So, yeah, they've just got to, I suppose, throw them into the fire. That's what I'll be doing and throw the magnets around a bit. That's all you could do.
And we did get a text earlier on asking about what do you think Zach Merritt's trade value would be?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, well, interesting. I remember watching them play 2 weeks ago, and they played him half back, and he had 30, but it went nowhere, sort of thing. It was just racking up. It didn't really do anything for them. And most of the day today, a bit midfield, and they played him forward. I don't know if that was the same as last week. So, and obviously, what do you have? 11, 12, 13 touches.
11 touches today.
11 touches.
So Merritt.
Yeah, well, not as much as last year. Obviously, that's going to be the kicker, isn't it? They were going to get a healthy dividend from him last year, weren't they?
Staggering, really. Yeah. But anyway, he can still go, I suppose.
Absolutely. In a good team, he's a
30 years of age. He's played every game. 6-time best and fairest winner at the club.
Beautiful. It's cost Essendon more than anyone because they would have got great picks, and this year it'll be less.
So Essendon's VFL team beat Brisbane earlier this morning as well, out at Springfield, and players like Sartis running around.
Yes, and you said there was a couple of good players.
Yeah, there's a couple of good qualities, but they had your Guelphis of the world, your Greshams of the world still running around in their seconds, and Jackson Binns, who played for Carlton as well. Will Setterfield still running around in the VFL setup. But they had a couple that McMahon, who's been to a couple of clubs, kicked a bag as well. So there seems to be that they have some kind of ability within their list.
I think they have, and hey, next year they're not going to be any worse than this year.
Well, here we go. Let's go back to the question of a couple of weeks ago, which saw most responses in red and black rather than navy blue. Matt Primus is making a return to the AFL coaching ranks, and he chooses either Essendon or Carlton to coach.
You would choose Essendon.
Still choose the Bombers?
Yep.
Why would you do that?
Well, I think they're as low as, purely based on it. You
couldn't get any worse.
They're as low as like everyone said, as low as they've ever been in my time of watching AFL.
In a live, really.
But I think they've drafted well over the last few years. They're going to have a good draft haul again this year.
What about you, Jace? Who would you choose?
Well, I'd probably choose Carlton because...
Why is that?
No great reason. I just think that, Carlton's a huge club like Essendon. They're probably just ahead. I think they're further ahead than Essendon, so I'd enjoy coaching them because you probably got more chance of winning.
Hey, Matt, so you go to Essendon. So who do you think's doing better off the field? That's probably one of the questions that hasn't been answered around the whole, which would you prefer, Bombers or Blues? And we've looked at the list, and you can probably say, yeah, Essendon's got better young talent than Carlton has.
Yep.
But with the off-field scenario of both clubs, the Blues have been through a pretty tumultuous time, but starting to settle.
They've got a terrific football manager.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, a CEO that's got a pretty good track record. Just got rid of their list manager, though, so that's an important area where I think Essendon have got a good one. That's an interesting discussion because that's going to be really important. I think both clubs... I think Carlton are getting good people off the field, and I think Essendon obviously are focused full-time on their coach. But I think they've got good people around the sphere of it too.
We can keep pondering that. By the way, we've got to get your votes here. Quentin Hull, along with Michael Price, Jason Ackermanis and Matt Primus, sifting through Brisbane's 90-point victory. Okay, Lachie Neale had 40, Will Ashcroft 33, Dane Zorko 32. Handy return for the 37-year-old Dane Zorko, first game since round 9. Darcy Wilmot 23 in his 100th. Zach Bailey 23, Cam Rayner 23, Jasper Fletcher 23, Bruce Reville 23. They're the top portion for the Lions. 23 was the leading disposal number for Essendon. Archie Roberts had 23, 22 for Durham, 20 for Roby. Overall, Brisbane had 131 more disposals, comprising of 88 more kicks and 43 more handballs and 17 more contested possessions and, 67 more marks at 132 to 65.
Safe to say there won't be any in the top three.
Plus 30 inside 50s for Brisbane at 69 to 39.
Well, makes my job a lot easier. You only have to focus on one team. Now,
who have you got?
My 3-2-1, and it may surprise you that I think this, but I am going to put and give one vote to Dane Zorko. Great to be back. Super player. Sets up the game. The meters gained. He'll just get better and better. They need him. They love him. He's still like at 45 years of age. Amazing. That's wonderful. Now, this is where it would get tricky, because in this next two would have to be the Lachie Neale, Will Ashcroft, because he was amazing. Well, Scott Draper. But because I'm sitting next to a ruckman.
Sammy Draper.
Sammy Draper. It's safe to say that his game was fantastic. When you kick 2 goals, you deserve to get the credit. Against his old team, never easy. So, believe it or not, Lachie had 40 and he's only going to get 2 votes.
So 2-0.
And Sammy Draper, with the world's arguably most fashionable, unfashionable haircut, that you couldn't get into Thailand right now with that. He's get 3 votes. And Will's unlucky, like Will Ashcroft. I thought his goals were good, but
3 to Draper, 2 to Neale, 1 to Zorko. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Matthew. Always a pleasure to have your company at the football.
Problem.
Thanks, Pricey.
Thanks, Q.
Always good to be at the footy with you. We'll reconvene at Carrara next week. Thanks to Branko and the Faders here, to Akash back in the studio, and to Zano for his work on the boundary and in the rooms. So just a reminder, the Thursday night kickoff for round 19 is at Cardinia Park, with now the under pressure Geelong to host St Kilda. So that's when the live footy gets back underway on ABC Sport. But as ever, you can keep up to date with AFL Monday and AFL Daily through ABC Listen. Footy never stops here on ABC Sport. By the way, as I'm about to throw to the highlights in the NRL, tight finish coming up there late on. Storm 18, Titans 18. So there's more sport if you want it on the Listen app. Kicks a high ball to a packet, full forward, off hands, Reveal Roves, hands to Lohman, that's 2 for the showman, on the right foot snap from 25.
Bruce Reveal flies front and square, Ashcroft will, and in an absolute millisecond, drops it onto the right boot and kicks a goal. What brilliant roving, but what reflexes. He shows the hands to the crowd. Rayner gave it to Will Ashcroft, had a bounce, flicks it inside to his brother Levi. He has a bounce, gets over 50, sweeping handball, McLuggage from 40. Oh, textbook, coast to coast footy from the Brisbane Lions, straight down the middle of the ground.
Will Ashcroft marks, kicks to centre half forward for his brother, marks on 48, weaves away from Essendon's flimsy attempts to stop him, and kicks another Brisbane goal. How do they do that so easily at half forward? That's disgraceful from the Bombers.
To Sharp, surrounded, now he plays on to the right of the mark, puts it to a one-on-one, and there you go. When you put it to a one-on-one, to your forward's advantage, they might take the bloody mark. Peter Wright, though, can the Bombers get their first goal of the game? He leans on it and squeezes it through. First goal of the game for the Bombers, and it arrives at the 24-minute mark of the second quarter. It's picked up by Rayner, gave the don't argue, handball back to Draper, emboldened, the big fella, the outside of the right boot, if you don't mind. Yes. The big unit went through traffic, put on the afterburners, mullet flowing, outside of the right boot from 40. That is a ruckman's dream.
Oh, Draper's gone own possession again, kick smothered, shunted forward first by Rayner and then off the ground by Bailey. Bailey from the top of the goal mouth kicks his second goal.
Connor McKenna gathered, had a bounce, traversed the arc and kicked a beauty. That is his second. Oh, Rayner gathers and puts it into the pocket. Draper will release from the arc of 50. It curls back. He's kicked his second and nonchalantly walks off as if to say, did you see what I did there?
Hand pass looking for Lohman. Didn't find him immediately. McKenna, though, brilliant hand pass to Will Ashcroft, and he goes to 3 goals on the night with a little dribbler and ahead of his brother with 2 goals in a minute. It's been all Brisbane at the Gabba, and the 2-time reigning champs take a step closer to try to earn that double chance in 2026. The Bombers slide closer to their 6th wooden spoon. The Lions have flogged the Dons by 90.